strippers. Whew, Lord, how many times was I gonna change that time, huh? How many times was I gonna change that time? Change that time, change that time. AunTeaFee, about them facts, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Baby, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. We are going to talk about it today. We got that sentencing hearing today. Like some strange little switcheroo. Hey, Peach Gems. Peach. I don't know why old boy started fooling with Tisha Tells, baby. Miss Lowdown done teased Nancy Grace. Everybody, oh Lord. She got the old boy 911 call. We gonna talk about that. What? Pay electric. Okay, pay electric. Pay electric, Lord. Okay. That, so it says, for sentencing, the defendant proposed. And let me tell you who else popping up. Ooh-wee. Let's listen to Tisa. Because she was saying something. Now I'm going to start with her last one. Because, you know, hi, Elisha. Why is the video Vixen popping up? Why did the video Vixen pop up? Baby, you know if they picking up and digging off into her, we know that was a long time ago. She was trafficked. Oh, baby, they asses is in trouble. Well, he rest in peace, though. He rest in peace. She was trafficked by Herb Gotti. She was gifted to Diddy. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We gonna talk about that, too. So, because y'all come on in, hitting the like button, because y'all know at this point right now, time in my life, I got too much going on. I'm eating one of them bowls right now with the fruit and all that type of stuff. Y'all be taking my lunch. Y'all don't want to hit the like button. Y'all don't want to support the platform, but I am not going to go and be listening and doing this research. If y'all can't hit the like button, I'm going to shut it down. Well, shut shit down. Pop, pop. I'm on your neck. What's my foot on my foot going to be on the neck? Y'all come in, hitting the like button so we won't have no problems. Okay, let's go. Let's hear Tisa.
Hear me. Put a 1 in the comments.
Oh, let me put it up there.
I'm here. Hello, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Hold on. Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear Tisa?
I exist. Let me know. What is going on? What? Okay, you guys can hear me. All right, welcome back. Listen, apparently they shut me down. I told too much. I
want to go in on that other one. She started out going ham on the menu.
I work for the FBI branch of YouTube. Here's my employee ID. I told too much. And they shut my life down. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Dark waters. That's what
Can y'all hear her?
All my business on YouTube about me being a federal informant. I literally had to call the FBI and was like, we are working for the same team. Y'all paying me. What y'all talking about? Y'all are paying me extra. Yes, it costs a lot of money for my hair to look this dry.
And that's the number.
Can y'all hear her?
Let's get into this, all right? Because I really did. Listen, I have a big live scheduled later, but I wanted to tell you guys what actually happened in court today, okay? So, what are the things that happened in court today? First of all, Diddy's team once again had us in a nothing burger. They rushed for the sentencing.
Oh, don't say a burger.
Yeah. We
I want
agree
to
with the
smack.
government.
What is
Let's
it?
keep
Shakes?
October 3rd. We agree with the
What's the
government.
name of
Now,
that
again,
place?
I rolled my eyes to talk about what was going on. Let me read you the letter really quick.
Smash,
Let me
shake,
tell
or
you
shake.
how Diddy's team
Veggie
really
burger.
tried it. They were begging for fast tracking, but at the end of the day, they are still playing legal maneuvers. And let me just tell you this. I'm gonna need my co-workers, Maureen Comey, and everybody else in that federal thing to come on, step it up. Step it up. Come on. Everybody had time to lick their wounds. Stop letting Diddy's team play in our face, especially with the pretrial sentencing. Now let's get into this, right? I missed you guys too. You guys, I'm going to just go through this very quickly, and then we have a major live scheduled for it.
Can y'all hear? Oh, okay. Hold on.
Told too much. I told too much. I told too much. I told everybody that I work for the FBI branch of YouTube. Here's my employee ID. I told too much, and they shut my live down. Y'all, I don't know what was going on. Dark waters. That's what I get for telling all my business on YouTube about me being a federal informant. I literally had to call the FBI and was like, we are working for the same team. Y'all paying me. What y'all talking about? Y'all are paying me extra. Yes, it costs a lot of money for my hair to look this dry. All right, you guys. So let's get into this, all right? Because I really did want, listen, I have a big live scheduled later, but I wanted to tell you guys what actually happened in court today, okay?
Let's go.
So, what are the things that happened in court today? First of all, Diddy's team once again had us in a nothing burger. They rushed for the sentencing, only to say, yeah, we agree with the government. Let's keep it October 3rd. We agree with the government. Now, again, I rolled my
Let's
eyes
keep
to
it
talk about-
October 3rd. Hey, Purple Flower. Let's keep it October 3rd. Why all of a sudden y'all okay with him staying in there until October the 3rd? What? 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 What's really going on? Now he
What's
okay.
going on? Let me read you the letter
Okay.
really quick. And let me tell you how Diddy's team really tried it. They were begging for fast tracking, but at the end of the day, they are still
Hey,
playing
Max Little
legal
Boogie,
maneuvers.
thank
And let
you.
me just tell you this. I'm
Thank
gonna
you,
need
thank
my
you.
co-workers, Maureen Comey, and everybody else in that federal thing to
Hey,
come on,
Willie
step it
Spencer.
up. Step it up. Come on. Everybody had time to lick their wounds. Stop letting Diddy's team play in our face, especially with the pretrial sentencing. Now let's get into this, right? I missed you guys too. You guys, I'm going to just go through this very quickly, and then we have a major live scheduled for it later. But let's get into this, right? Okay, so what did they say? They said for sentencing the
Come on.
parties proposed that the court's original date of October 3rd, okay? Now, I was just like, so what was the point of even requesting an expedited hearing if the sentencing is back by October 3rd? I'll tell you what, our voices were too loud. I said,
them letters to them judges.
The devil started playing with my microphone. He's keeping attention to the chat. Jamie, thank you so much. A shout out to Tito Town.
Y'all see the letter?
For looking out. Okay.
All parties have met
Tito. See, here's
and
the thing.
conferred.
Why did they expedite this? Because they are the legal equivalent of effing playing in somebody's face. This is your face. This is Diddy's team. They are the legal equivalent of playing in somebody's face.
Playing. Do it again for us, Tisa.
Expedited.
Show us again.
Because they expedited because they thought that Diddy is going to be a slow walk. They thought since Diddy got expedited because They thought that Diddy is going to be a slow walk. They thought since Diddy got out and he's been vindicated, everyone would be like, yeah, do it.
They wasn't expecting them letters.
However, that's not what happened. The public outcry, I think Diddy united the country. Whether you're liberal, Democrat, whether you ain't voted since 1995, whether you literally are a voting coalition, whether you are libertarian, whether you are MAGA, everybody thinks that Diddy is guilty. Now,
whether they want to admit it or not.
It's been a plain in your face week. They just told us that the Epstein list doesn't exist. Even though they already released half the Epstein list, or at least a little bit of it a couple of years ago with the flight logs and stuff, now they're saying that there is no list, even though they told us a year ago there was a list. Same thing, they told us that Sean Diddy Combs was innocent, even though we saw him on camera committing a crime. And it wasn't just the domestic violence. I know some people, right,
want to play with it, play with it.
Isn't a crime, but even if you think it isn't, she was being dragged back to a freak off. Diddy admitted it. Mark Agnifilio admitted it. Everybody admitted it. Cassie was being dragged back to a freak off. So where does this come
with Jules? Say his name with Jules.
Okay. Listen, I'll tell you what. Our voices were too loud. Diddy's team realizes after Judge
popped out.
Okay, locked that whole courtroom down, kept pushing it back because he didn't want the vile filth that supports Diddy because they busy living Diddy lives, complete with DV cases and a little secret boyfriend. Right? Again, I don't understand. Being gay is no big deal.
She been in the Mo3 sector.
It's not the gayness that might be turning people off.
The tea and the shade.
It's the breath. At least I think so, right? And you know, a man's in the closet when they start talking about the way women smell. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
He done scoped out your wig and stuff.
When that happened,
like where you get them locks at?
Read Diddy to filth. He was not having it. He was not having it. He didn't take the Diddy payoff. He wasn't having it. So what happened? Okay. They know they are in a battle for their lives. And they know that everything that's seen on media, the judge is watching, the judge is listening to, but more importantly, the probation officers are watching, and the probation officers are listening. And the people that made the pre-sentencing probation report, which is like a hot or not, do you think this person is a violent thug or not? They are taking notes. Every time a witness comes forward, every time they say, I would say, every time people say, I'm scared, every time they say it's violent, every time you see these trash people out in the street defending them, that all reflects back on Diddy.
Absolutely.
It all reflects back, which is funny to me that all these people that are literally on their knees begging, can they kiss it for Diddy, begging to be down. Diddy is going to have to really cut ties with the dredges of society that have risen up,
knowing good and damn well he would not make it on the A list at an all-white party where he may polish his nails white and he may get him a wig, but boo, that mouth game, oh my god. And you say his breath was tart and fart, oh no, oh my god. He would not make it on the list. Get that nigga a t-shirt and let him go on by his business.
To uplift him because it is a bad look.
Oh no.
And baby, say what you want, especially when it comes to the pre-sentencing report, for a man that has already admit that he is violent, that he is this, baby, that is all that matters. Listen, let's get into this really quickly, okay? So here's the thing. They agreed to take it October 3rd. The defense proposes that the prosecution provide the parties with pre-sentencing litigation reports on or before August 29, 2025. And the defense objections to the pre-sentence report be filed on or before September 5th, and that the government objections to the pre-sentence report be filed on or before September 12th, and that the probation officer, right? Hold on really quick. Hey, what's going on?
Y'all shout out to Tisa Tales.
Oh, it's fine. I'm live bound. I'll just jump on at 3.
She really got it out the dirt.
Okay.
And they hating on her for real in real life.
So they said that with the pre-sentencing report, they said on September 18th, and the defense's sentencing memorandum be filed on or before September 19th, and that the government's sentencing memorandum be filed on or before September 26th. The government and the probation office do not object to this schedule. Now, hear me out. They said for post-verdict motions, the parties proposed that the defense file any post-verdict motions on or before July 30th, and that the government respond on or permit request that it be permitted to submit its summary of offense conduct on or before July 11th, and the defense does not object. Okay, listen. I'm going to need my coworkers to step it up. I'm going to need my coworkers to get in the game, because let me tell you what Diddy's team is actually trying to do. Let me just read through all of this, okay?
Let's go.
Baby, listen, first of all, and I said this before, don't let up on Diddy. Be loud, be out. I don't care how many celebrities come in, like, yeah, be out, be loud, and let them know what you think, because listen to this, right? They want time to clean up the narrative. The earlier that Diddy's team gets the pre-sentencing report, the more time they have to review it for anything damaging. And baby, it's a lot of damaging on there, especially the references to uncharged conduct or language that paints Diddy as a predator. The uncharged conduct is all of the witnesses' statements, even the ones we didn't get to see, all the people that were subpoenaed, all of the affidavits, and what Mark Anthony, what Mark Agnifilo actually admitted in actual court to get Diddy off, okay? They can then strategically prepare, this is what they plan to do, strategically prepare rebuttals, request revisions, or frame their own sentencing memo to neutralize the tone. That's why they're saying, you know what? Keep it October 3rd. The block is too hot. They need things to calm down. And all these bums and losers that are affiliated with Diddy, he is going to have to cut them dry. If anything, I think Diddy is going to try to do a kumbaya tour with his kids, family man. Well, he can't be ops with baby love, can he? But expect everybody around Diddy to be like, Daddy, I miss you. Daddy, I love you. Don't forget, all the kids are going to have to write stuff. Baby love is going to write in crayon, Daddy, love you. Come home to me. And the judge is going to be seeing it with tear stains on the paper, written in crayon with little fingerprints from when she was eating jam and bread. You already know that's what's hitting. But again, you guys, I will say this. Please be loud. Please be strong in what you are actually saying about Diddy. Don't let up. Every time you see a narrative, every time you see a fake thing, guess what? Diddy's team say that, like, Diddy once saved kittens from a fire. Shut up. Diddy probably started that fire. Anyway, right? This also could be a stalling tactic wrapped up in urgency. By pretending to hurry the process along for the pre-sentencing report, the defense might be laying the groundwork to ask for more time on their end later, claiming they need additional time to respond to the problematic report. This is especially important if new victims come forward or sealed evidence gets unsealed between now and sentencing. Again, Diddy, and I know Diddy supporters are super happy that the jury sent a signal that beating somebody to a pulp doesn't matter if they lay down with you in bed. Okay? However, there is a lot of sealed testimony, a lot of sealed information. There is a lot of evidence that the jury didn't get to hear because Diddy's dream team, right? His dream team literally, also I want to give a shout out to Shawty for sending that generous super chat. I'm going to do my best to read the super chat from last live. I know they just fell apart, right? But also Real Mama Fifi, thank you so much for the super chat. Corporate Luxury said, we love you, Tisa, and the haters are on mute. Exactly. They are on mute. You guys also, I appreciate you guys going hard for me. Please ignore all the people talking. They are Diddy supporters. Half of them got their own DV cases. Half of them got their own DL boyfriends. And there's nothing wrong with being gay, you know I'm a big advocate. It's the fact that they literally see themselves as Diddy because they are living that Diddy life. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, they're living that Diddy life. Again, being DL doesn't make you a woman abuser. They are demonic. But the same way I feel Diddy used that as an excuse to be demonic, I feel like they're using it too. So ignore them, ignore them, ignore them. All right, let's get back into this, right? Now, again, listen, if new victims come forward, okay, or they're, oh my God, hold on. Hello? Hello? Oh my God. I don't have time for this. Okay, so anyway, I don't have time for this. Let me get back on my live, right? Okay. Anyway, Amex is always calling me about some mess. Anyway, let's get into this, right? So this might be a stalling tactic. Also, they're trying to box the government in. The defense wants to lock the probation office into a calendar where the government only has a tight window to object by September 12th and then must file sentencing memos by September 26th. It limits the Department of Justice flexibility to introduce new aggravating evidence or request upward departures in sentencing. Okay, let me just say this. I'm going to need the government to get it together. I'm going to need them to get it together. Y'all know I love Maureen Comey. We are co-workers. I told her that we are going to have a potluck. She is going to be in the potato salad, but I told her I better not see any raisins in there, Maureen. I'm just saying. You cool, we like you, but you look like you put raisins in your potato salad. That's all I'm saying, right? So I told them, and I want to tell my coworkers, because I work for the FBI branch of YouTube, there's my employee ID, I want to tell my coworkers, y'all need to step it up. This is how they got outmaneuvered before. Diddy's trial, I was in there. There was so much off the record that the jury didn't hear because they were very good at like, oh, you can only say this, and then what they could do, it didn't make sense. This is a lot of people why people thought the case was just thrown because it didn't make sense. Moving forward, we are going to need my coworkers, the Southern District of New York, to step it up. We can't be doing this 1-2 step because Diddy's team got Brian Still over there doing the electric slide. And literally the prosecution is like, wait, do you go to the left? Do you go to the right? Meanwhile, they doing the cha-cha slide led by Xavier Westmoreland and Brian Still. I'm going to need them to step it up. That's what I'm going to need. And that's what they better give me. Somebody put Maureen Comey on the 1s and 2s. Mm-hmm. Also, there's something else that they might be doing. They might be preparing to frame Diddy as a misunderstood charitable icon. The pre-sentencing report includes everything: his background, his criminal history, and what they couldn't show in court, character references. So Diddy's going to get everyone to be like, oh my God, he's the sun and the moon. I know they're going to get Young Miami and Santana to be like, I miss Diddy. You can walk back into the Lion's Den if you want, but I'll tell you one thing. There's also going to be a bunch of character references on the other side. All the people that couldn't testify, all the victims, all these people, they are going to be on the other side. They writing letters now. They are going to be going in on Diddy. And the judge gets to consider all of that, okay? Expect a full court PR campaign described as a legal document. Letters from charities. Even though as much as people say that Diddy was helping the Black community, can anyone name one person he ever gave a scholarship to? Because he was supposed to give it to Howard, but then I think Howard said he never gave it. What has Diddy actually done for the community except for give us Carisha Roulette, which is legalized freak-offs, and liquor? And Sean John. What has he ever done for the Black community? I get the fact that who he represents might have been good to the Black community, but now that we know he wasn't Barack Obama and the first president, besides literally pouring alcohol down people's throats and glorifying a debauch, what did he do for the community? I'm very confused. I don't know. At the next monthly African American well, I'm sorry, not African American. I'm ADOLPH, well, for Black parents, but it's the next Black monthly meeting, because if you guys don't know, as Black people, we have monthly meetings. We even have people roving around screaming, "She's not Black! She's not Black!" Right? And again, at the next monthly African American, Black, if you're a real Black American meeting, I am going to have to show my card, go in front of the review board. The process is they spritz me with water, and first they see if my edges curl up. If my edges curl up, then I am allowed to go to the next process. That is when anyway, right? So my whole point of the matter is, right? My whole point of the matter is, I'm very confused. What did he do for the Black community? Because I don't know, on my side of the Black community, we haven't seen anything. It's a lot of talk, but that's it, right? Anyway, there's going to be letters from charities, employees, and friends saying he changed their lives while avoiding the fact that he destroyed others. But the other people are also going to have their day in court, and the judge is going to consider it all, okay? This also shows Diddy knows what's coming, and it's
he knows
not
what's
good.
coming.
If the defense thought the pre-sentencing report would help them, they wouldn't need to micromanage the schedule, and they would have rushed to have this earlier. The fact that they agreed to keep it in October said the urgency hints that they're worried about what the report might say and what time to strategize damage control. Now, I know Mark Garagos says that they think that Diddy's only going to be up there for 1 year. I don't believe that. I actually think Judge Aaron, I'm praying he gets him 5 years for each charge, 10 years in court, and let let justice take its toll. I hope he gives him 20 years, but I think 5 years for each charge might be good, considering the aggregating factors. This also could hint that they're weighing a sentencing appeal strategy already. Getting a pre-sentencing report early means they can prepare arguments not just for leniency, but for appellate level complaints if they feel the judge is too harsh. It's all about preemptively building the record for later court battles. Again, if they feel the judge is too harsh, I don't really think they have an avenue for appeal. I mean, they can appeal, but every legal professional I've talked to said that as long as he doesn't go over the maximum, he can go as high as he wants on that if he looks at aggregating factors. Again, the dream team got a demon off. People that will never have to sit around Diddy, people that will never invite Diddy to date their daughters, come around, people that would never let their children intern with Bad Boy. They got him off and they released him into our community. And there is a bunch of low-life, not just a Black community, every community. And again, there's a bunch of low-life trash that is applauding that because I don't know. Maybe they just have sad lives. I don't know. Honestly, I tried to get into it, but at this point, I still cannot understand, unless you are an abuser, I don't understand why you would support Diddy, but the women that support Diddy, that's the part that really, I feel like what happened is they feel like they lost at the patriarchy bingo, because you know patriarchy rewards beauty, rewards youth, and stupidity. You have to have all three. You can't be beautiful and young because you might be smart and they don't like you using your power. You can't be you have to be stupid, beautiful, and young. And if you are not all three of those, then patriarchy tells you as a woman that you don't matter. They tell you you don't matter. That's why they're always screaming at pretty girls. You need to learn to be more stupid. That's why they always trying to cheat young girls. You need this and that. And if you're anything, you have to be all three, right? You got to be stupid on top of all of it. That's the only time they reward you. But the thing is, you're too stupid to realize that they're not rewarding you. You're in a little prison. So I feel like the women, especially the older women, because when you're young and stupid, it's like you'll learn. But when somebody's old and stupid, it's like, what? And when I say stupid, I'm not talking about intelligence. I'm talking about critical thinking. I'm talking about like voting against your own interests. The point of the matter is, I feel like those women supporting Diddy, even the ones in the YouTube street acting a fool, I feel like you lost the patriarchal lottery, right? You're not young, you're not, and again, you must be stupid. You're not young, beautiful, and stupid. Again, maybe and you lost the patriarchal lottery. So now that you're washed up and patriarchy tells you don't matter, get away. Now the only way you can find yourself of use, and you think that use is the attention from these scumbag men that you seek to protect you because you've been brainwashed into thinking that you can't do anything for yourself. You now support the patriarchy because the same men are just like, get away. They'll let you come around so you can be their mammies, you can be their fools, you can be their mouthpieces. But the thing is, you then get upset because you do all this, and the same women, these guys are still in DMs trying to talk, doing this, doing that. So the most you can hope to do is be a useful tool. They're Rottweiler with foaming at the mouth, protecting the patriarchy. But as soon as the patriarchy doesn't need you anymore, you're gone. And you think because they need you, it's somehow what? Male attention? They're now accepting you? You think you have a cheat code? No. The patriarchy only values women that are young, fertile, beautiful, but more importantly, stupid. Again, if you're young and you're smart, you're trash. You need to be beat down. You need to learn to submit. And these patriarchy aunties, grandmas, whatever you want to call them, mammies, come in, you need to submit, you're not a good woman, mama, because that's the only value they have for the patriarchy now, upholding it. And if you're beautiful, whether you're young or not, if you're beautiful, you must be dumb. You must be dumb. If you're not young, but you're beautiful, you must be dumb. If you're not young, but you're beautiful, you must be stupid and you must have low self-esteem, because then they can exploit your beauty, because you're supposed to be worthless and washed up by the time you're 25 or 30. Again,
is that what
these women support that too, even though most of these patriarchy aunties, they're not even young. Like, anyway, it's a devious thread. It's a devious circle. But again, patriarchy only works if you're young, dumb, and stupid, because they don't want you if you're intelligent. Yeah, that's your worst nightmare. If you're intelligent and beautiful, that's the patriarchy's worst nightmare. If you're young and you're not gonna let these ninjas spin the block on you and all this, that's your worst nightmare. But again, I think that's why so many women are coming out for Diddy, because they see in patriarchy, they never believe a day when patriarchy won't rule, so they're trying to find a useful thing. You see what I'm saying? Anyway, you guys, listen, I have to go tape. I have to go tape with a few news organizations. You'll see me on there tonight. I have to go tape, and I'm going to try to go on live later. If not, you guys are going to see a bunch of videos, okay? It's going to be a heavy work day today.
Okay, so y'all, do y'all remember the video vixen, the confessions of a video vixen? Do y'all remember her? She came out I think she wrote her book in like 2004, 3-4. Oh, where was I staying? And she talked about all the dudes that she kind of was kicking it with back in the day. And if you read her book, let me see if I can. This was her book. I think she had she has on clothes, right? Let me double check, cause you know she was Karen. Oh my goodness. Former hip hop dancer. I want the book cover. Where's the book cover? Y'all remember her? And she wrote a book about all the men in Hollywood and hip hop. There you go. That she smashed. She was, her name was Superhead. Let me go out so y'all can see her. Y'all remember her? Baby, everything fell over. I guess it just was like, wait, what we doing on TV? I mean, everything fell over, didn't it? Hold on. Hold on. I guess I'm gonna have to handhold this one. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, so I guess that's where Angela Simmons was getting that sitting in the bathtub with the Oreo cookies that time. Was that what she was trying to do with the Oreo cookies? Well, anyway, she was on Piers Morgan, and she was talking. And I'm like, well, how she popped back out all of a sudden? I mean, she dated a few people, and now she talking about how she don't remember she was gifted to Diddy. Oh, baby, look at this one here. She was gifted to Diddy. Kareem reacted to ape charge against Elizabeth Ornstein. Karen Stephen, her real name, reacts to ape charges against. Oh, wow. Y'all ready for this? You getting too close to the truth, baby. Didn't it pop down, Sylvia? Hold on, let me. Oh, AunTeaFee, you didn't read that? So she's not going by Karine Stephan anymore. Reacts to ape charges against who? And who? Who? And who? Who? And who? Oh, baby. The tea is just getting hot. Oh, my God. Okay, so wait now. What I had read before, I didn't know that this was there. So hold on, things ain't moving right. I think my phone is getting stuck again. I don't know. It's moving kind of slow. But she putting allegations against Jay-Z and Diddy. Wow. Wow. Hold on, y'all, because my phone is doing some crazy stuff. Because I was reading what she was saying. And she does go back to the Jay-Z, even Damon Dash, Aaliyah days. But Pierce got her out. This was the picture I was trying to get to. This one. Wow. I need to leave this right here. I need to be able to research this. Yes, ma'am. I need to be able to research this. She has brought up allegations of ape, not only with Diddy, but Jay-Z. Now, I want to be clear. If we looking at the book, and I'm remembering the books, that triple X trafficking really do go back. And based on what it's called now, she would have been trafficked because she was gifted to Diddy by Herb Gotti. I remember that. She met him at a party. And he was like, well, who are you? and Herb Gotti and Diddy negotiated something. And he said, have her come to the house. And next thing she knows, she was being whisked off to his house. But I also remember, we're going to listen to it. I kind of remember her saying she went into a room, and as she was coming in the room, a couple of guys was leaving through a different door or something. Well, let's listen. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Without further ado, let's get to it. Now, where did you put it, AunTeaFee? Let's get to it, because I'm finding it interesting right now that this stuff is coming out right now. Right now. And I'm going to be honest, I don't remember her making accusations that she was aped. I was always under the impression that she was a willing participant of what was going on at that time. But let's hear what she say with Piers Morgan. And I do remember a lot of DRUGS going on back in that day. But that's here.
Shying away from publicity and just letting the trial unfold.
Are y'all ready? Y'all getting the likes up? It's not that many people in here right now, so I don't know what's going on, but I ain't gonna worry about it. Y'all see Korean? Let's go back. Let's hear.
Of prebiotics.
Oh, they call it knucklehead. Maybe I need to
just like the
change
fermented foods found in longevity hotspots. It comes in crystal form, so there's no messing around. Just dissolve, off for life, plus a free at all then. At all then. At all then. Gut health, metabolism, at all then. At all then.
What?
Off for life, plus a free frother and glass beaker with the Pure Bundle. Visit peaklife.com/peers. That's peak, P-I-Q-U-E, life.com/peers. But did you actually ever have any kind of sexual relationship at all then? Crystal form, so there's no messing around, just dissolve. Now, everybody knows how much I enjoy my tea, and I'm very happy to say that today's show is sponsored by
To me, they talk
them to me, and I take editing records boss.
And in this line of questioning, I wrote 5th of that year.
Censored, Elizabeth. Thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
A lot of people are kind of aware of your history with Diddy, but for those who know nothing about it, how would you categorize your time with him?
My time with Sean was honestly pleasant in the beginning. To my recollection, the first time we met, we spent the night together, but he was a consummate gentleman with me in that evening, again, to my recollection. And every other time I saw him after that was in a group setting, so it was fine. The last time I saw him, however, things had taken a bit of a turn. It was after Confessions of a Video Vixen, my first book had been published, and he was seething when he saw me at Prince had a party at his house, and we were there, of course, before Prince died, and he was scowling at me the whole night, and I found it amusing, but he was obviously very angry with me by that point in our relationship.
Why was he so angry with you?
Well, 4 months before Confessions was published in 2005, we got a call from Sean's attorney, my attorney did, and Sean's attorney wanted to see the book before the book came out. Confessions of a Video Vixen was an embargoed book, so no one could see it. No one would even get it until the publication date, which was June 5th of that year. And so my attorney told his attorney that he could not get the book and that they would have to wait until the book came out like everyone else. And if they saw a problem in the book, that they were free to reach back out to us, sue us, whatever they felt was necessary. We knew that wouldn't happen because HarperCollins is the publisher of that book, as you know, is a News Corp entity, and those attorneys made sure it was vetted to the fullest so Sean could never sue, he could never raise any objection to it. And I think he always hated me after that because I left enough. I posed questions in that book that that I think sent certain people down the direction that leads us to where we are now.
Just explain that a little more. What were the questions you think that you're talking about?
Well, honestly, I'm just now getting context on a lot of the questions that I had then. After the trial gave me way more context. But just about, I think, his sexual proclivities and what we saw in hanging out with him, the kind of clubs he took us to, even conversations he and I had, one in particular where I didn't understand it at the time. And honestly, Piers, I'm getting new understanding about this line of questioning. I wrote about this in Confessions where my boyfriend and I at the time had gone to his home for New Year's Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve kind of festivities. And he pulled me to the side and was just like, we're friends, right? We're friends. And I was like, yeah, we're friends. And like, we're good. And I'm like, yeah, we're good. And I couldn't figure out what he meant. And I wrote about this where I didn't know what he was talking about. And he just kind of went on to say, I have kids, I have a mom, and if anything got out, it would really hurt them. And I honestly, at that point in stage, did not know or remember what he was talking about. And so we just kind of laughed it off. Like, what's going on with him? And things that he said to my boyfriend, like, don't trust her. She might have her on video with, in precarious positions. And this is back before cell phone cameras. So I was just like, what video? I didn't understand any of it. Now after the trial and the things that have come out from the trial, this gives these conversations a lot more context. But at the time when Confessions came out, it did make us all wonder, what was he so afraid of? I didn't even know what I had seen or didn't see, or if there's something happened that I didn't remember from our time together. But he was very afraid that I would say something in the book. And honestly, I think he never contacted us back because what he thought I was going to say, I did not say. Possibly because I didn't remember it.
What do you think he was fearful of you saying?
I have to be honest, Piers, in booking this time with you today, and your producer asked me to kind of send over some pages from the book. I hadn't read Confessions since I wrote it, and I read it for the audio version, and that was 2005. It's been 20 years since I read this book. And in reading what I sent over, which is what I just described to you right now, I wonder a lot of things. He was so afraid that I knew something. And I was confused because the only time that we had together prior to this conversation was alone time at his home, wherein I felt we had a good time. I didn't know, he didn't come on to me. It was very platonic, I thought. So I was confused as to what was it? And so I have to admit, my mind kind of races now that I have more context of his proclivities and what he's capable of what he was so afraid of, what he thought I knew or what he thought I remembered.
I mean, in the book, you talk about the first time you met Diddy in a nightclub at 3 a.m. You said, right there in front of me, Diddy and Gotti, who was the murder
so
record
this
boss
was 2000.
of Gotti. made
I think
arrangements to
her
send
book
me
was
to Diddy's house in
2003,
1 hour. It was 4 in the
2004.
morning. I turned up.
To kind of send over some pages from the with in precarious positions, and this is back before cell phone cameras, so I was just like, what kind of festivities? And he pulled me to the side and was just like, we're friends, right? We're friends. And I was like, yeah, we're friends. And like, we're good. And I'm like, yeah, we're good. And I couldn't figure out what he meant, and I wrote about this where I didn't know what he was talking about.
So why would he be jumping to them? So he already knew that what he was doing, that he probably shouldn't have been doing, right? With all this, well, how we didn't know. Yeah, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Yeah, he knew then that what he was doing wasn't right.
And he just kind of went on to say, I have kids, I have a mom, and if anything got out, it would really hurt them. And I honestly, at that point in stage, did not know or remember what he was talking about. And so we just kind of laughed it off, like, what's going on with him, and things that he said to my boyfriend, like, don't trust her, she might have her on video with, in precarious positions, and this is back before cell phone cameras, so I was just like, what video? I didn't understand any of it. Now after the trial and the things that have come out from the trial, this gives these conversations a lot more context, but at the time when confessions came out, it did make us all wonder,
why is she
what was he
acting
so
like
afraid
she
of?
don't
He was
remember?
obviously very angry.
Let me tell you about my experience with the
I'm
5
trying to
As
get
someone who's
into
always on
her
the go, I
body
was a bit
language.
skeptical about
I'm trying to get into
with me
if
by
she
that point.
really don't remember or if it has been paid off. Because you didn't read the book before you went on Pierce? If your memory has slipped you, come on now.
In our relationship.
Why was he so angry with you?
Well, 4 months before Confessions was published in 2005, we got a call from Sean's attorney, my attorney did, and Sean's attorney wanted to see the book before the book came out. Confessions of a Video Vixen was an embargoed book, so no one could see it. No one would even get it until the publication date, which is June 5th of that year. And so my attorney told his attorney that he could not get the book and that they would have to wait until the book came out like everyone else. And if they saw a problem in the book, that they were free to reach back out to us, sue us, whatever they felt was necessary. We knew that wouldn't happen because HarperCollins is the publisher of that book, as you know, is a News Corp entity, and those attorneys made sure it was vetted to the fullest so Sean could never sue, he could never raise any objection to it. And I think he always hated me after that because I left enough. I posed questions in that book that that I think sent certain people down the direction that leads us to where we are now.
Just explain that a little more. What were the questions you think that you're talking about?
Well, honestly, I'm just now getting context on a lot of the questions that I had then. After the trial gave me way more context. But just about, I think, his sexual proclivities, in what we saw in hanging out with him, the kind of clubs he took us to, even conversations he and I had. One in particular where I didn't understand it at the time. And honestly, Pierce, I'm getting new understanding about this line of questioning. I wrote about this in Confessions where my boyfriend and I at the time had gone to his home for New Year's Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve kind of festivities. And he pulled me to the side and was just like, we're friends, right? We're friends. And I was like, yeah, we're friends. And like, we're good. And I'm like, yeah, we're good. And I couldn't figure out what he meant. And I wrote about this where I didn't know what he was talking about. And he just kind of went on to say, I have kids, I have a mom, and if anything got out, it would really hurt them. And I honestly, at that point in stage, did not know or remember what he was talking about. And And so we just kind of laughed it off, like, what's going on with him, you know? And things like he said to my boyfriend, like, don't trust her, you know, she might have her on video with, you know, in precarious positions, and this is back before cell phone cameras. So I was just like, what video? I didn't understand any of it. Now after the trial and the things that have come out from the trial, this gives these conversations a lot more context. But at the time when confessions came out, it did make us all wonder, what was he so afraid of? I didn't even know what I had seen or didn't see, or if there's something happened that I didn't remember from our time together. But he was very afraid that I would say something in the book. And honestly, I think he never contacted us back because what he thought I was going to say, I did not say. Possibly because I didn't remember it.
What do you think he was fearful of you saying?
I have to be honest, Piers, you know, in booking this time with you today, and your producer asked me to kind of send over some pages from the book, I hadn't read Confessions since I wrote it, and I read it for the audio version, and that was 2005. It's been 20 years since I read this book. And in reading what I sent over, which is what I just described to you right now.
But why would she not read the book before she came on Piers Morgan's show, knowing that he was going to ask her questions? So it's sounding really suspect to me right now. It's as if she has been bought or paid. Because why are you saying I don't remember? I'm going to be honest with you. It's been 20 years. Okay. But you knew that, right? So now you don't have no memory of nothing. Where we do that at? But let's keep listening.
I wonder a lot of things. He was so afraid that I knew something. And I was confused because the only time that we had had together prior to this conversation was a long time at his home, wherein I felt we had a good time. I didn't know, you know, he didn't come on to me. He just seemed it was very platonic, I thought. So I was confused as to what was it? And so I have to admit, my mind kind of races now that I have more context of his proclivities and what he's capable of what he was so afraid of, what he thought I knew, or what he thought I remembered.
I mean, in the book, you talk about the first time you met Diddy in a nightclub at 3 a.m. You said, right there in front of me, Diddy and Gotti, who was the Murder Inc. records boss of Gotti, made arrangements to send me to Diddy's house in 1 hour. It was 4 a.m. I turned up to Diddy's home in my SUV. There were security guards in the driveway, all dressed in dark suits with their hands in front of them. They had been expecting me. The things that went on when Gotti and I were together are almost unimaginable to me now, but in the haze of drugs and liquor, it all seemed all right. I was being used over and over again, man after man, all friends and acquaintances of Gotti.
Does that not sound like Cassie? Does that not sound like Cassie? I was being used, man after man, right?
Liquor, it all seemed all right. I was being used over and over again, man after man, all friends and acquaintances of Gotti's. I quickly became Gotti's show. They had been expecting me. The things that went on when Gotti and I were together are almost unimaginable to me now, but in the haze of drugs and liquor, it all seemed all right. I was being used over and over again, man after man, all friends and acquaintances of Gotti's. I quickly became Gotti's showpiece. He would turn other people in the industry onto me. I was his party favor whenever there was any...
She almost looked like she wasn't expecting for him to read it. What's going on with her body language, y'all? Oh, did she get caught up? What? She don't remember? Let's look at this again. Let's listen.
But in the haze of drugs and liquor, it all seemed all right. I was being used over and over again, man after man, all friends and acquaintances of Gotti.
Right here. Like she had to take a deep breath, and if she don't refresh her memory, she can get out of answering. Okay, so did somebody make a phone call to you and you were supposed to act like you didn't remember, and so you've been threatened or something, and so when he pulled out this paper and said bam, 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 now you have to quench your mouth. Your mouth went dry. You had to put your hair behind your ear. You had to look down. Your mouth went sunk in like, oh shit. That's
I quickly became Gotti's showpiece.
Is she going somewhere emotionally or mentally, or did she thought that she was just gonna get paid here and get paid there, and she was just gonna keep her mouth shut? And what? Let's listen, because your body language is telling a lot. I mean, first you was looking straight. Now where you looking? Where your eyes? What we doing?
He would turn other people in the industry onto me. I was his party.
Oh, wow. Did he strike a nerve? Did you not know that you was a Cassie? That you was his property and that he pimped you out? Oh, girl, come on.
Favor. Whenever there was anyone Gotti wanted to impress, he would send them out. My SUV. There were security guards in the driveway, all dressed in dark suits with their hands in front of them. They had been expecting me. The things that went on when Gotti and I were together are almost unimaginable to me now, but in the haze of drugs and liquor, it all seemed all right. I was being used over and over again, man after man, all friends and acquaintances of Gotti's. I quickly became Gotti's showpiece. He would turn other people in the industry onto me. I was his party favor. Whenever there was anyone Gotti wanted to impress, he would send them to me and I'd take care of them. I mean, could it be that what Sean Combs was worried about was that he facilitated this very transactional relationship that you had with Irv Gotti? Is that part of this?
I don't think that was it. And honestly, I think it was more insidious than that. The fear, the fright that he had during that conversation at his Miami home, back in whatever year that was, he seemed terrified that I had known something. And I just don't know what he thought I knew or remembered. The transactional nature of how we met, and which is why, I said in various interviews before that I was gifted to him, it was because no one asked me if I wanted to go. No one asked me. They talked about me as if I wasn't there.
So if they didn't ask you, they didn't get your permission, were you forced? Were you pimped? Here we go again. So you were gifted. So someone handed you off. So Gotti, Irv Gotti, Murder Inc., rest in peace, sir. I mean, did this come up in their federal, didn't they have a RICO? A federal something? Did this come up then? Very familiar scenes. Absolutely. And she was classified as the best. Kind of like Cassie. I mean, and her body language is like, whoa, Jack.
And I just don't know what he thought I knew or remembered. The transactional nature of how we met, and which is why, I said in various interviews before that I was gifted to him, it was because no one asked me if I wanted to go. No one asked me. They talked about me as if I wasn't there. I was property to cart around. And that's what they did. If they would have asked me, I still would have gone. So I didn't hold any objection at the time because I would have still done it. Being 21 and it's Diddy and we're having fun and it's just a Saturday night out in LA. Effective, healthy blood pressure support
She would have
takes more than
still did
innovation.
it. So we,
It takes
they would
vision.
have. She wasn't
humans
asked.
are
This
plant-
sounds so familiar.
Everybody knows how much I enjoy my
This
tea.
sounds
I'm
so
very
familiar.
happy to say that today's show is sponsored by antibiotics, just like the fermented for all occasions, and they all support your gut health, gut of a Brit, and the London life.com/peers. That's PIQUE life.com/peers.
Shout out to Pierce Morgan.
But did you actually ever have any kind of sexual relationship at all then?
Here go the funny part.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually
Now
have
she
any
can't
kind
hear.
of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not know. Well,
Girl. She done been bought, y'all. She done been threatened or she has been bought. I know good and dang well you are not about to say that you and Diddy did not have sex. Girl, don't make me do this, a superhead. Do not.
not to my knowledge.
What? Pierce,
Say, what do you mean by that?
are you buying this shit, Pierce? Superhead. Why the uck would he be in your book if you didn't uck? Are you gonna make me go pull your words on you? Mark done pop out. He's saying she. That girl is tripping. Y'all, is she gonna make me do this to her? I know in your book, Superhead, Karen, whatever name you, Elizabeth, whatever name you going by now, you got more alias and more names than a Diddy. What are we doing? Why did you pop out now? Why did you I just showed my tea sippers 2024 where you were saying that Diddy and Jay-Z aped you. What are we doing? You want me to straighten that ass out? Girl. Do I need to let her wait? Let's see if she corrects herself. And if she don't, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna remind her how we just saw where you said that Diddy, not only did Diddy, that you are making allegations against Jay-Z. Now, how in the hell can they ape you if you ain't had no sexual, I mean, you know, what, how you do that? How you do that? Now, I can make up some excuses, but ain't no way in the world somebody gonna ape you if you ain't had intercourse. If nothing went in you, girl, stop lying. But you better fix it.
Not to my knowledge. I don't.
Say, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
Well, you think
So not to my knowledge. No, I don't think.
you at all then?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not. No, well, not to my knowledge.
She didn't want to lie, y'all. She knows she was about to lie, and then she didn't want to lie. And now you talking about not to your knowledge. So now you're going to act like you was stoned out your mind. Is that what?
Diddy and I did not. No, well, not to my knowledge.
Say, what do you mean by that?
Y'all, have somebody done threatened this girl? Has she been paid?
Diddy and I did not. No, well, not to my knowledge.
Say, what do you mean by that?
What?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
Yeah, I am too. I don't.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not. No, well, not to my knowledge.
You lying heifer.
So, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
Well, you think
So not to my knowledge. No, I don't think anything right now. I just, not to my knowledge, because honestly,
that's a very strange response, though, to not remember whether you did or not.
yeah, isn't it? It is. Yeah, it is. Because honestly, Pierce, before now, again, before I went through my text, again, I hadn't read Confessions in 20 years. I wrote it.
Okay, Mark, y'all ready? Y'all ready for me to catch her in her lie? The video vixen. You liar, you. I cannot believe you gonna make me do this to you. But I'm concerned now if somebody has threatened you or if you've been paid off. And I'm just merely going by your body language, chick. You were so adamant. Now you talking about you don't know. Hold on now. Hold your mule. Hold your mule. Hold your teacher. I don't know who she playing with. Girl, what in the world are you? What we doing? So, but let me go to this one for the ones who just came in. Hold on. And this was just 2024. What to say, y'all? So she's not going by her superhead. She's not going by Karen anymore. Kareem, with the December. Okay. Kareem Stephens react to 8 charges against Sean Combs. Okay. Let's go. Let me go back to the other one that I said, girl, you better keep this here. Oh, let me take it off my little old stand. So my teeth, y'all get the likes up, cause she trying to play in my face, and I don't know why. And so this is this one right here. It says, yeah, Kareem Stephens was 22 when she was sent to Diddy's home as a gift. Okay. Now they are reciting out of her book. Okay, known in the hip hop industry. You know, started her career as a model before going on to star on 20 music video, controversial singer R. Kelly. She done talked all these cats' peanuts and privates up, all of their cucumbers and horse meat and shit, you know. Tootsie Rose. She got a whole name, Jay-Z, you know, and he did it in the elevator, in the limo. I remember she gonna make me gift, aka, okay, she gonna make me remember Superhead, he was driving down one of them streets, a hill. They was leaving somebody's house, probably did, I don't know. And she was in the limo in the back, you know. Here we go again. He didn't want intercourse at that time. He just wanted head. He had heard her head game was, you know, da bomb. Okay, to go Jay-Z, GMX, Van Diesel. I remember her talking about him, how he was well endowed and he was really, really patient, really, really, you know, didn't want to hurt her. Is this okay? You know, are you really, all of that. I remember that one. Van Diesel, because shortly after that, she was in that movie with him. I can't remember the name, but Lorenz Tate, they was police officers. I remember that. Lil Wayne, Method Man, and even Bill Maher. Okay, let's go on down. It says Stephens also had a brief relationship with Sean Diddy Combs. Let's go down. Yeah, because she was in a relationship. She was actually in a relationship with Bill. Yeah. I mean, he really enjoyed the head game. Okay. 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 Let's see. Right here says fresh off a breakout role. I'm trying to read it as I go across. Rose starred in Jay-Z $1 Million music video for Hey Papi. Stefan was introduced to Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy. She claimed that February 20, 2001. Okay. So this was after Cassie. When she was just 22, she was gifted to Diddy, who had just broken up with J-Lo. Okay, so she remembers, I mean, you know, in retrospect, she realized that she was given to him as a gift by another executive. Where is his name? Well, it's oh boy, Herb got it. She mentioned Ja Rule. Let's get down to where she lied so we can get on back to the video. Okay? Girl, I know you didn't know, but you finna know now. Okay? Okay? Girl, please. You don't know. You don't think so. Yeah, no, maybe so. Bullshit. Let me tell you how I know you lying in our face, and I'm finna call you out. Uh-huh. Right here. Right here. Right here. In her book, she described her first sexual encounter with the music mogul. After a few minutes, Diddy greeted me and led me to the nearest bathroom, she wrote. Right? With the slight formality out the way, Diddy and I spent the next 15 minutes, he's a quickie, engaging in the usual. After the experience, he said, you're one of the best. Now, we know he said that, right? Because we've heard that before with those hookers. I said the same to him when in actuality he was average. How do you get to average? How can you even rate a man? How do you give him 15 minutes if you haven't been intimate with him? You say he's an average screw. He ain't nothing special, you know. And somewhere in the book, he was like, he was, you know, he's small. I remember that. Okay? So, y'all, T-Sippers, did we just bust her? Did we just bust her lying? So now we have to, what she said, at one of Diddy's notorious parties at the mansion in Miami, Star Island. Y'all, Star Island is coming. That indictment with Star Island is coming. I keep telling y'all there is a reason why Miami was not mentioned in this last pass indictment. A lot of the star-studded events were at Star Island. Okay? Lil Rod's situation is Star Island. And I'm like, well, why she pop up all of a sudden? Star Island. So now she playing dumb for some reason Do you think that she's going to be mentioned? You think maybe she's going to be a witness? What in the world is really going on that you playing in AunTeaFee face like she ain't listening with her good ear? Girl, ain't nothing in my earpiece out. Why you lying? But do y'all fuel with drugs? Star Island, there we go again. Okay, let me set this down. Let me see what's down here before we go back to listening to what she said. Is that it? You choose. You choose your ill. You take your champagne, and that's your vibe for the night. Okay, so have we busted her? What you hope so? Are we convinced she's lying? No, why she lying? I don't know. But her book that she wrote, she described their first actual encounter. So let's get back to her playing dumb. Now, why she playing dumb? We don't know. But we know she playing dumb. Girl, I'm going to snap a picture of this and everything. Girl, you don't... Girl. How dare you come play in our face? No, ma'am.
As me, Peak's pure fermented teas for the gut of a Brit and the longevity of a Himalayan. Should have told them.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not. No, well, not to my knowledge.
So, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge.
That eyebrow goes
honestly,
up, don't
I'm
it?
questioning a lot of things right now.
So, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
Well, you think
So not to my knowledge. No, I don't think anything right now. Just not to my knowledge, because honestly...
That's a very strange response, though, to not remember whether you did.
Not right now. She said not right. Did she say not right now?
Knowledge, because honestly...
That's a very strange response, though, to
Did she
not
say
remember.
not right now?
Diddy and I did not know... Well, not to my knowledge.
So, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't... Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
Well, you think
So not to my knowledge. No, I don't think anything right now. Just not to my knowledge, because honestly...
I don't
That's a
think
very strange
anything
response,
right
though.
now. I don't think anything right now. What in the world?
No, I don't think anything right now. Just not to my knowledge, because honestly...
That's a very strange response, though, to not remember whether you did or not.
Yeah, isn't it?
Isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is. Because honestly, Pierce, before now, again, before I went through my text...
Was she not ready for the question?
Not to my knowledge. I don't... Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
Well, you think
So not to my knowledge. No, I don't think anything right now. Just not to my knowledge, because honestly...
That's a very strange response, though, to not remember whether you did or not.
Her body language is throwing
isn't
me.
So, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge.
And it's as if she didn't want to lie. Y'all, please hit the like button. Please don't make me shut down on y'all right in the middle of this tea, babe, because I am trying to do what AunTeaFee do best, and I'm listening with my good ear, and I'm watching with my good eye, and this is throwing me off because you can tell that she's lying. She didn't want to lie. Oh my goodness. And then she went dumb and naive, and it's almost like she Is she being paid? Was she threatened? What in the world is this body language? She went from looking straight. Now she can't look. Her eyes keep being closed. It's like, Lord, please. What in the world? Oh my God. And she said that she went over it. She hadn't looked at the book or read it in 20 years, but you did before you went on this show that you're being paid for. Get this man back his money if you're finna play this game. And why are you playing it? What are you gonna be a part of what's coming? Why are you popping out now? Why have you changed your name? Who in the hell is Elizabeth Oveson? Who is that? Thank you, Samili. What in the world is this? You gonna make me slow this down, girl?
Say, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things.
Watch that eyebrow. This one. I mean, they already not shaped, but baby, watch how hot it goes up. Y'all, please hit the like button. Support the platform, baby. This tea is hot.
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
You have been so matter of fact.
Not to my knowledge.
Say, what do you mean by that? At all then?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
So now you can't hear. You needed a minute to think about what you was finna say. So then you say, excuse me, what did you say?
No, Diddy and I did not know. Well, not to my knowledge.
At all then?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not know. Well, not to my knowledge.
Say, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
What you think?
So not to my knowledge. No, I don't think anything right now. Just not to my knowledge, because honestly.
That's a very strange response, though, to not remember whether you did or not.
Yeah, isn't it? It is. Yeah, it is. Because honestly, Pierce, before I went through my text, again, I hadn't read Confessions in 20 years. I wrote it. It was painful to write. So I never wanted to re-traumatize myself and go through those years again. And think about this. I'm a middle-aged woman at this point. I don't want to go back into my 20s and see what happened. But in gathering information for this interview here, reading that passage again for the first time in 20 years, I questioned a lot of things, like, well, why was he so afraid? And why did he try to, make my boyfriend feel as if I wasn't trustworthy? And
do you think he took advantage of you when you were under the influence of alcohol and drugs?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
But do you feel that's the case now from everything you've read?
Honestly, yes.
So, did you lie when you wrote the book? Superhead, Karen, Elizabeth, whatever other name you go by? When did the lie start? When did your memory? I mean, because you, baby, you were matter of fact.
For the first time in 20 years, I questioned a lot of things, like, well, why was he so afraid? And why did he try to, make my boyfriend feel as if...
Is she trying to sue him, or has she been subpoenaed? What in the world? Have she been threatened? Because you trying to put emphasis on him being threatened, but how are you going to say that you did not have intercourse with Diddy, but you said in your book as usual? and it's only a 15-minute man. And he told you that you was one of the best, and you lied and told him that too. And in reality, he was just a average ass dude.
Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
No, ma'am.
Well, you think
So
you
not.
at all then?
I'm sorry. What was that?
Did you actually have any kind of sexual relationship with Diddy at all?
No, Diddy and I did not. No, well, not to my knowledge.
So, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
Well, you think
So not to my knowledge. I have. No, I don't
So
think
I
anything right now.
wonder
Just
if
not-
somebody was, let's say, on the stand and they was giving their account of her. Would they say, well, no, she just gave her statement. She didn't seem like nothing was wrong with her. She just gave her statement. She didn't look like anybody had forced her to change her testimony or nope. Y'all, I am sorry. This girl is giving me that somebody has made her deviate from her truth. Although she didn't want to, she acted like she couldn't hear her. Then she was like stumbling over the truth and the lie. Now you get mad because you messed up. You forgot what you was told to do. And now you have amnesia. I want my money back for that $25 book plus interest and shit. Because now what you saying, you don't remember.
So, what do you mean by that?
Not to my knowledge. I don't. Honestly, I'm questioning a lot of things right now.
Well, you think
So not to my knowledge. I have. No, I don't think anything right now. I just not to my knowledge because honestly.
That's a very strange response, though.
You ain't
to
never
not
lied,
remember whether
Pierce.
you did or not.
She looked
Yeah,
like a superhead. Keith.
It is. Yeah, it is. Because honestly, Pierce, before I went through my text, again, I hadn't read Confessions in 20 years. I wrote it. It was painful to write. So I never wanted to re-traumatize myself and go through those years again. And think about this. I'm a middle.
Cause Mark, we not having it. We not having it over here, boo-boo. AunTeaFee and her teeth. No, baby. We do not play these lying-ass games. Y'all listen. If y'all ever wonder why AunTeaFee so strict, and with these narratives and people just coming over here and break, because once we break this shit down and we have a sense of what's going on and somebody come over here with them control ass narratives, I just as much rewinding and re-listening and re-looking and eyebrow up and all of that hair go, I don't have time for all of that, them fake narratives that we done broke the shit down how many times? I know. Police. That's exactly why I don't play with that type of shit. Girl, you lying. You lying and the truth ain't in you. But why are you lying? Because it almost seemed like you was forced to lie. Like you had to tighten your lips and say, Like you didn't know Pierce wasn't going to ask you this. That's the kicker for me. What in the hell did you have in your head? Because you know he was going to ask you, because that's the reason why you here. You think we here to see if you still have a superhead skills? We don't care shit about that. You all washed up and girl, hell, you don't even go by the same name no more. Why? Yeah, goodbye.
Confessions in 20 years. I wrote it. It was painful to write. So I never wanted to re-traumatize myself and go through those years again. And think about this. I'm a middle-aged woman at this point. I don't want to go back into my 20s and see what happened. But in gathering information for this interview here, reading that passage again for the first time in 20 years, I questioned a lot of things like, well, why was he so afraid? And why did he try to, make my boyfriend feel as if I wasn't trustworthy. And
Do you
when
think he took advantage of you when you were under the influence of...
Knock, knock. Hi there. I'd love to show you what a K-12
I don't have
Howard
time
school
for
is
you. I
really
need
like.
commercials. Come on.
alcohol and drugs?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. And
But do you
I
fear,
never thought that
that's the
before.
case now
I've
from
never
everything you've read?
Honestly, yes. Given the context, now that I know, because again, I never knew any of these things about him before. So the things that I learned in the trial, I did not know. I never saw that side of him. I did not know. I never understood. And again, in 2005, when I published Confessions, it said...
Karen, if you didn't know, whatever you learned in this trial, now, listen. I'm not happy with Diddy right about now. And for the most part, when I hear what I hear, I believe 98% of what I... But if I'm going to be frank with you, yeah, let me turn you around, put you right here while I talk to you. I'm going to tell you now, right now, I'm not believing you. I believe that you may be. Now, it's a couple of reasons why you switching up your story and you talking about you do not know. Okay? Now, I understand a lot of people went up in you. Okay? I do. I will even say that you sound very similar to Jane and Cassie. I will give you that. But everybody who was slipped a Mickey, chose they ill of choice, because your words is that you chose your ill of choice and you grabbed your champagne and that was your vibe. Everybody who was on something, one of the other or both, when they were violated, they bottom, either the front or the back, was aching. They could complain about, yeah, or at least Cassie would need 3 or 4 days. She would be asking for, because her body would be sore from the double overtime work. So if you wasn't hurting, then how can you say now you don't know? You would have woke up saying, oh shit, what done happened? What is this? Oh my God, I feel like I was violated. If you didn't feel like that, your book didn't give no reference of that. Why, based off of what you've heard in this trial, are you trying to act like you don't remember? Now I don't know. Do you remember waking up hurting? It almost sounds like you trying to get paid. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not believing you. You've not made any, you made mention of a lot of ugs and but now you don't know. I don't believe you.
No. I never understood. And again, in 2005, when I published Confessions, it said...
It don't matter what he was worried about you telling. Now you want to try to figure that out as if he did something to you. If you didn't say you woke up hurting, then don't try to act like something could have possibly happened to you. Because everybody knew when their body had been violated.
It says, I didn't understand why he was so fearful of me, because our time together was pleasant. And I was like, wait, what is he so afraid of? What does he not want me to tell? I didn't see anything at that point. At that point, I hadn't seen anything. At that point, we had, I thought, just a friendly, platonic night together.
Hey.
So I was confused then. And 20 years later, I'm confused now. So to my knowledge, I've never had sex with Sean Combs. We never had that kind of relationship.
How is he in your book? So it ain't that she trying to sue. She done been bought, y'all. She done been threatened, or she done been bought. Can y'all believe this? So you wasn't a gift. You wasn't gifted. The switch up is real. And she doing it right up in our face, because if we go back to the beginning, she was a gift to him. My mom calls it acting daft. Y'all, this is the craziest shit. I cannot believe. Let's listen, Lord.
We had, I thought, just a friendly, platonic night together. So I was confused then.
What's platonic? What's platonic? If he didn't dust you off or knock your back out, so he thought, I mean, I'm sure he never did that, if you know, but he thought he did, then why is he questioning you? Why did he say you were you wanted the best and you said you are too? I mean, just friends with benefits? Cause why are you saying, yeah, you wanted the best, but in all actuality, in reality, you was just an average? What are we talking about? And no man back in that day, because everybody knew you as Superhead. You not even saying I just gave him oral. You saying nothing. Then why was he in your book? You're lying. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't with you, but I'm gonna play you on out, because we want to. She's trying to stay relevant. Well, she's been out the way, so why would? Because everybody now is being contacted. It's known that, yeah, but she didn't have to come on, Keith. She could have stayed. She done changed her name. She's not even Karen Stephan no more. So she could have stayed wherever she was. We would not have known. Hell, we ain't even thought about her. Okay? And she can't say she want to reamp on her book, because you just lied. So why would somebody buy your book and Diddy is it? Right? If you're trying to stay relevant with what's going on now you're up here playing dumb and stupid. And so you're saying, not to my knowledge, no. So what was in your book? What was 15 minutes? As usual, he had no stamina. He couldn't last. He was a quickie, huh? And he was just average. Why even put him in your book? Why even rate him? Yeah, no, I ain't buying it.
And I hadn't seen anything. At that point, we had, I thought, just a friendly, platonic night together. So I was confused then, and 20 years later, I'm confused now. So to my knowledge, I've never had sex with Sean Combs. We never had that kind of relationship.
So 20 years later, let's go, y'all. Here I go. See, she done made me crank. So who has contacted you 20 years later? Who contacted you 20 years later for you to now saying, you know, back then I thought it was just platonic, and I still thought it was platonic 20 years later. I mean, so as far as I no, nothing ever happened. Who has contacted you to make you say that? Why is 20 years later even relevant? unless you were contacted and you feel threatened. Okay, let's go.
But you can't be sure.
Given what we know now, I can't be sure.
What does given what we know now have to do with if you're sure or not? What does that have to do with if you screwed him or not? Given what we know now, what does that have to do with if you did or if you did not? Oh, wow.
And how does that make you feel?
And that saddens me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
It saddens me, honestly. Yeah, because honestly...
Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all now, because I know people like, you know, Big Pressure and some other people think that I just believe the woman, you know. Oh, Fee, you just going back. No, I'm going to tell you now. It's coming out of my mouth. Right now, I think that she is not a victim. Do I need to say it again? Right now, she is not a victim. But she's giving me that she's trying to be a victim. Because given what we know now, don't have nothing to do with what's in your book. Now, I can say that given what we know now, there's a lot of similarities. But nobody but you is trying to act like you don't know if you had sex with Diddy. And why is he in your book? So given what we know now, it don't erase the fact of if you up to not. What do you mean? Oh, so again, for the record, she's right now, she is not a victim of Diddy. It sounds to me like she's trying to be one. Her and Jane and her and Cassie are different. And let me say this for the record. For the ones, again, who think I just be hard on Diddy. If that is the case, she was not pimped by Diddy. She was pimped by Gotti. That's who spreaded her around, gave her up as a gift. I don't understand why people are riding so hard for a harbor human. Who is the harbor human? And who riding so hard for him? Explain who you saying is riding. Well, if people's lives are being threatened, you know, but I need to know. Oh, well, I guess not. Krista removed that. Krista like, no. I know that she could be talking about me because this is the first time I done said a female who done came up ain't no victim. I'm kind of shocked myself. If y'all could tell, I wasn't expecting for her to play this role. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
During this entire process, I've been shying away from publicity and just letting the trial unfold.
What does the trial have to do with you? But let her talk, y'all. I can't with her. I'm going to step away. I can't with her.
During this entire process, I've been shying away from publicity and just letting the trial unfold. You know, I knew things from just being around and people talking, but I didn't know what was going to come out. There was a few things that I saw that without context were strange to me, but I didn't understand them until the trial. And so I've been quiet this whole time, and I disappeared off of social. I just disappeared for the past year waiting for this thing to unfold. In the unfolding of what I believe to be facts, and definitely the testimonies of Cassie and Jane and even some of the men. And then looking back at the text, I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, when he said, if anything got out, and I'm like, and I remember at the time being so confused, like anything like what got out? Like nothing happened. We hung out, you were kind. At some point I went to sleep, I don't know when, but I woke up and then we had breakfast and you were kind and I left. Nothing happened. I don't know, Pierce, I feel, just in the last 24 hours, I question what I thought I knew about my time with him.
You detailed in your books romantic relationships with a lot of famous people from that world: Jay-Z, DMX, Van Diesel, Lil Wayne.
Please go back and remind her what she said.
LL Cool J. You detailed in your books.
Please, Pierce, tell this girl what she said about Diddy. Now, she may know about the kids. She may have seen kids there. She may have seen some strange things going on like that. But for you to act like you did not have an encounter sexually with Diddy is a no for me. So Pierce, please remind this girl what she said in the book so I could see her body language and her response. Please, please, please tell me you tapped on her.
I feel, just in the last 24 hours, I question what I thought I knew about my time with him.
You detailed in your books romantic relationships with a lot of famous people from that world: Jay-Z, DMX, Van Diesel, Lil Wayne, Method Man, even Bill Maher.
Here go that body language, y'all.
Mr. Carl and others. You had a lot of famous guys you dated.
She really liked Van Diesel. She really liked him. She said that in her book. But see that smile come on her face? This is the first time we've seen her teeth, ain't it? Uh-huh. But girl, do you have regret being a hoe back in the day, or what? What are we doing?
DMX, Van Diesel, Lil Wayne, Method Man, even Bill Maher, LL Cool J, Mr. Carl and others. You had a lot of famous guys you dated. And who knows what the nature of what happened with Diddy was about. But do you feel that this whole world has now changed irrevocably as a result?
I'm sure that smile is for Van Diesel and Method Man. I don't remember what she said about Method Man, but I definitely remember what she said about Van Diesel. She really liked him a lot.
Is what the nature of what happened with Diddy was about. But do you feel that this whole world?
I feel, just in the last 24 hours, I question what I thought I knew about my time with him.
You detailed in your books romantic relationships with a lot of famous people
Mark,
from that world.
I don't believe
Jay-Z.
that, because how did she write the book? How did she mention him? If that's the case, what she would have said in the book was, there would have been no need to put him in the book. She only put the people that she have had encounters with as a vixen. No. One only other person I remember right off the bat was the cutie. I just said his name in that movie that with Van Diesel and Love Jones. What's his name? He got 3 brothers. One of them is an actor. He was in Love Jones with Nia Long. Lorenz Tate. Yeah. He was a gentleman. He didn't sleep with her. He wouldn't sleep with her. But she definitely, why would she even have him in there? if all they did was they was platonic and he woke up and they had breakfast the next morning, why is that not in the book? How can, if he slipped you something, how was you even able to put what you put in the book? And if all you did was wake up and have, how do you remember that? You're a liar.
DMX, Van Diesel, Lil Wayne, Method Man, even Bill Maher, LL Cool J, Mr. Carl, and others. You had a lot of famous guys you dated. And
They
who
didn't
knows
date.
what the nature of what happened with Diddy was about. But do you feel that this whole world has now changed irrevocably as a result of what happened to Diddy?
No, because nothing has happened to Diddy. Nothing has happened to Sean at all. What has happened here is that, here's the deal. It's not a Diddy issue. Like, Diddy is a problem, but he's not the problem, okay? He's not the problem. From Cosby to Combs, Weinstein to Epstein, and everything in between, they're all different tentacles of the same beast. And this is a story as old as time. The abuses of men.
Thank you, Queen Lakers. Thank you for everybody who has come in. Y'all, I have fallen back on the bed and my hand is on my forehead. And she's right, but somebody has gotten to her. So it's almost as if what Suge Knight has been trying to get out, right? Diddy didn't do it. So she said Diddy is not the problem. So now she's going to go into the history of it. But do you, and that's cool, but you cannot erase Sean Diddy because now you make all of it fraud. Now you're making it fraud. Your book is a fraud. You are a fraud. What you're saying is true. He is a problem, though. Now, whether it started with him, no. Were there others? Yes. Absolutely. But what we will not allow you to do over here at the Tea Palace is act like he ain't a problem. Because you are a super head, super face, super duper dick sucking lie. Okay? You are a lie and the truth ain't in you. But carry on with your lying ass.
But he's not the problem, okay? He's not the problem. From Cosby to Combs, because nothing has happened to Diddy. Nothing has happened to Sean at all. What has happened here is that, here's the deal. It's not a Diddy issue. Like, Diddy is a problem, but he's not the problem, okay? He's not the problem. From Cosby to Combs, Weinstein to Epstein, and everything in between, they're all different tentacles of the same beast.
True.
And this is a story as old as time. The abuses of men, men in power especially, men with money, and I think it only...
And there are some women in there who had intercourse with minor boys. So we are not going to remove the females who ate minor boys. I'm just not going to do that. Okay? So if you slept with Usher and he was a minor, okay, Superhead, you are a problem too. Let's go.
Increases over time as women become more free and more liberated, being able to make our own money, being able to, buy our own homes, being able to start our own businesses. I think it only enrages the men who hold power that they're losing power. And so I felt that over time, in my experience over the last 20-something years that I've been in this town, that the men are increasingly more aggressive and more so wanting to keep women under control and in power because they are losing power, even legally so. I don't think that the Diddy trial has changed anything other than it probably fuels this issue more than anything, because here's the deal. Two of the toughest charges have been dropped. He's facing up to 20 with time served. Yeah, he's denied bail, but how much time is he really going to get? Probably maybe 3 years. Might be out on probation.
Time
might have to wear
served.
an ankle bracelet like Martha Stewart. And
So is this why she changing the story? Cause he beat the main charges, and he may get out with time served. Is that what we bank? Is that what she banking on? To change up her story in her lie? Is that what she doing?
and it probably fuels this issue more than anything, because here's the deal.
I do believe it fuels it, because people are going to think that they can continue doing what they're doing and they won't be hit. I absolutely believe that it does fuel it, which is hopefully why he's going to get that 20. And I still want to throw it out there. They may also know, because I'm telling you, one of those attorneys in California says that there is a, it may be a misdemeanor, but there is a domestic violence charge that he pled guilty to in California. And if that popped up, in addition to these two felonies, his ass is getting those 20 years. And I don't remember, very close to it. And I don't remember, I tried to find where I didn't, and I know I should have sent it to myself, but I didn't. Because I think I didn't, because I'm like, where is she getting this domestic violence long time ago that he pled? She said he pled guilty to in California. I hope somebody who can dig it up. Because if that pops up, that'll throw that whole he don't have a background off when he got hit with these two felonies.
Two of the toughest charges have been dropped. He's facing up to 20 with time served. Yeah, he's denied bail, but how much time is he really going to get? Probably maybe 3 years. Might be out on probation. Might have to wear an ankle bracelet like Martha Stewart, and everything's going to be fine. And then what happens is that no one's paying attention to the fact that there are a lot of men who aren't saying anything, who are very quiet, as well as men especially, and women, who are supporting him. And I fear, even with everything that we've heard, let's say none of that was true. We saw something, however, that tells us something about this person. We saw a videotape of him brutalizing Cassie, and that tells me everything I need to know about this person's character. So even if nothing else was true, that alone is enough reason for him to be canceled indefinitely. But I fear that's not what's going to happen. I think this is just emboldening more men to do the same thing, because guess what they're going to do? They're going to get away with it. There are men in this industry who have left this country, who are now living on islands and in different countries, to escape persecution from things like this. There are men that I know personally who are involved in this, who have done things similar to this, who have parties like this. Diddy's not the only one. This is not a Sean Combs problem. This is a societal community issue here in this town. And it's not just the artists, it's also their attorneys, their publicists. It's the hotels. I was brutalized in a hotel, and guess what happened? That tape disappeared. When I went to get my police report from the police, destroyed, all within 48 hours to protect the person who had brutalized me. It is
Wait.
And in different countries, to escape persecution from things like this. There are men that I know personally who are involved in this, who have done things similar to this, who have parties like this.
Okay.
But I fear that's not what's going to happen.
So she's changing her story out of fear. So yeah, is she okay? So is she changing her story out of fear?
Emboldening more men to do the same thing because guess what they're going to do? They're going to get away with it. There are men in this industry who have left this country, who are now living on islands and in different countries, you know, to escape persecution from things like this. There are men that I know personally who are involved in this, who have done things similar to this, who have parties like this. Diddy's not the only one. This is not a Sean Combs problem. This is a societal community issue here in this town. And it's not just the artists, it's also their attorneys, their publicists. It's the hotels. I was brutalized in a hotel, and guess what happened? That tape disappeared. When I went to get my police report from the police station, it was destroyed, all within 48 hours to protect the person who had brutalized me. It is systemic.
Getting all your daily nutrients is hard work, but nutrition gaps in your diet are inevitable. But there's an easier way to fill them. Meet Gruns. Gruns. The snackable, packable wellness gummy that packs the comprehensive nutrition you need into this guy right here. Gruns loads a complete serving of fruits, veggies, adaptogens, vitamins, minerals, super mushrooms, prebiotics,
Sorry, I
and
had to go in
antioxidants
another room
like
to do
organic
that
kale,
pose.
spirulina.
So it doesn't matter,
Oh, a long time ago.
you know,
2000.
if Diddy gets off or not, and
Do y'all remember?
destroyed, all within 48 and in different countries.
Do y'all escape prosecution? Get Out. Who you talking about? Get Out. Hi, Karen. Do anybody remember her book? No, because at that time, I think her book was 2005. It was it hit the mainstream. It was published in 2005. So Russell Simmons, I don't think he would have left. Did I say Russell Simmons? Y'all hit the like button. I'm finna shut it down. I'm past 2 hours and my likes are not up. I'm finna shut it down. Thanks to everybody who came in. Thank you for the jewels, Queen Lakers. Does anybody remember that? Did she chat? I don't know what you're trying to say, Sylvia. Did she chat her interview? I don't know what you're trying to say. Do y'all remember who put hands on her? Do y'all remember that book? Because I think
Thing, because guess what they're going to do? They're going to get away with it. There are men in this industry who have left this country, who are now living on islands and in different countries, you know, to escape persecution from things like this. There are men that I know personally who are involved in this, who have done things similar to this, who have parties like this. Diddy's not the only one. This is not a Sean Combs problem. This is a societal community issue here in this town. And it's not just the artists, it's also their attorneys, their publicists. It's the hotels. I was the only one. This is not a Sean Combs problem. This is a societal community issue here in this town. And it's not just the artists, it's also their attorneys, their publicists. It's the hotels. I was brutalized in a hotel, and guess what happened? That tape disappeared.
which would make sense to why his attorneys went in and made the jury flip, which is why it was not just a surprise to the judge, it was a surprise to everybody. Because remember, I kept saying somebody gave the green light, somebody took their hand off of him, his protection was lifted. But she's saying the attorneys and everybody involved. True that, President.
The hotels. I was brutalized in a hotel, and guess what happened? But I fear that's not what's going to happen. I think this is just emboldening more men to do the same thing, because guess what they're going to do? They're going to get away with it. There are men in this industry who have left this country, who are now living on islands and in different countries, to escape persecution from things like this. There are men that I know personally who are involved in this, who have done things similar to this, who have parties like this. Diddy's not the only one. This is not a Sean Combs problem. This is a societal community issue here in this town. And it's not just the artists, it's also their attorneys, their publicists. It's the hotels. I was brutalized in a hotel, and guess what happened? That tape disappeared. When I went to get my police report from the police station, it was destroyed, all within 48 hours, to protect the person who had brutalized me. It is systemic. So it doesn't matter, if Diddy gets off or not, in the sense that it won't stop anything. I think if anything, it makes it all worse.
Well, that is a sobering way to end, but thank you very much indeed, Elizabeth Oveson. I appreciate it.
So why he did not read to her what she said about Sean Diddy in her book? Because now he realized he got played. I'm trying to remember who her baby daddy is. Nice looking, dark skinned brother. Daddy Kane. She talking about Daddy Kane. Daddy Kane was her baby daddy.
Thank you so much.
Well, to debate all this, I'm joined by Tony Busby, the attorney representing Diddy victims in civil suits, DJ Vlad.
Yeah, please hit the like button.
And our very own uncensored contributor, Esther Krakow. Esther, as we listened to that, what were you thinking?
I mean, what she said at the end there was very poignant. This is not a Diddy problem. This is an industry problem. I do find it quite telling that she said she was brutalized as well in the similar fashion that Cassie was. And then within 48 hours, the tape vanished. And I think a lot of the fault has to be laid at the nature of the system. What we used to say that all you need is consent, whether it's you sign consent or yes, we're good to go. But actually, when you contextualize it, these women that, okay, yes, they are drawn in by the glamour of being with someone like P. Diddy or a high-profile person, you can choose the names. They are drawn into the system, but nothing means that they deserve to be beaten up and treated like ragdolls in the way that Cassie and arguably this lady said. And so we need to be looking at the cultural issue as well. That's the fundamental issue. It's not just about you sign a piece of paper and you can make an NDA, keep you quiet or whatever. The culture is telling women that actually you can be treated this way because you happen to be in this space, and all that keeps everything above board is the legality. And unfortunately, the culture is our problem. It's not the problem of the federal prosecutors. It's the problem of us as a society. The PAs, the people that are handling their press releases, the lawyers, everyone, they are part of the culture, that culture of subservience and allowing these people to do things that are legally above board but are horrible and just quite vile. I feel sorry for Cassie because I do think the prosecutors misled her. The case was very, very shoddy on many levels. You can't have a conspiracy with just one person. That's not a conspiracy, that's a thought. And so I think in many ways that case was always going to fall through. But I do think that these girls have been let down by a culture that has boiled down appropriate behavior to just legality and consent.
Okay, DJ Vlad, you posted on X after the verdicts came in, Cassie is guilty of the same prostitution charges Diddy was just convicted of. I interviewed 3 of the male escorts. All 3 of them said the same thing. Cassie picked them, contacted them for free costs, enjoyed the experiences and paid them. Meanwhile, she's sitting on $30 million and writing letters to the judge asking him not to give Diddy bail. So pretty clear what your view is of Cassie Ventura there. What do you think should happen to her?
I mean, personally, I think she should be charged with the same thing that Diddy was charged with. Ultimately, he was convicted of prostitution. She was involved in the prostitution. Every male escort that I talked to said that she was the one picking the actual male prostitutes.
Now, Vlad, those female prostitutes that got on the witness stand, they got immunity. They became cooperating witnesses. Cassie got on the stand. She became a cooperating witness. So what in the are you talking about? She was a co-conspirator that turned to a cooperating witness. Why are you not saying that?
Would book them. She enjoyed every experience. She was sort of guiding the whole thing while they were together, and she was the one that actually paid them. Ultimately, this is a domestic violence case that's ballooned into a RICO and sex trafficking and so forth. What Diddy did to Cassie in that hallway was absolutely horrible, but that is not what the trial was about. It was about RICO. It was about sex trafficking. Neither of which made sense in this particular trial.
Yes, it
and
did.
If you want to actually convict him for prostitution, Cassie is just as liable for that same prostitution that Diddy got convicted of, but she was given immunity in the whole situation. So I just feel it's really just a messed up situation.
That's a completely ridiculous stance, because you know what the consequences of her, not booking those prostitutes? We saw it in that hallway in the hotel, in an international chain hotel that were happy to take $50,000 to wipe it off the face of the earth. Those are the consequences. If she hadn't done that, it is very likely that she would have been manhandled in that way, even in the street, and someone would have been able to wipe the footage of that. I appreciate the fact that she hold on. I appreciate the fact that she was
not charged with domestic violence. You're talking about a totally different situation.
I guess the question, Vlad, I guess the question that Esther's posing there really is, did she go along so apparently consensually with all the freak-off stuff, with all these escorts, because she
admitted to that?
Well, hang on. My question is, did she go along with it in the apparently consensual way because she was in fear of retribution from Diddy in a way we saw with the beating?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because you're not a female and he didn't put his hands on you.
Something years ago. She had the ability to leave at any point. She was signed to a label, but labels leave artists that don't react constantly. She could have went.
She tried to leave. He beat her and drug her back to finish a sex act. Why you can't see that and you got 4 eyes? Yeah. She did try to leave. You said she could have left at any time. She did. And that one act that she tried to leave, but he drug her back to finish her job, was trafficking. Now, I know you smart enough because they say you the Fed anyway. I know you know that. But this is for clicks and views for you. Okay, let me take this off of you, Joe.
She stayed because she wanted to be in that particular situation. Now, people are going to argue with me and so forth, but at the end of the day, she stayed because there was no one else that was offering her a record deal. There's no one else that was spending millions of dollars on her. There's no one else that was showering her with gifts. So she decided to stay. And ultimately, at the end of the day, when the money ran out, when she married a broke fitness trainer and had to go move back in with her parents, and the money completely ran out, then it's like, okay, let's sue Diddy and let's get $20 million out of him. That is my take on it. That's always been my...
Okay, well, tell your homie that obviously you do the same bull crap he does to fix his life. Okay? Stop grooming young girls like he told his assistant, so that they can do whatever he tells them to do. Okay? And start treating the females with respect instead of trying to use them for freak-offs and won't nobody tap into his money. Because that other boy toy says that Diddy like shutting people up with money. Yeah. So it ain't just females, Vlad. It's men too. But maybe he up in your ass too. I don't know. I don't know. But you showed up in his.
My take, that always will be my take.
Okay, Tony Buzz, we need to bring you in here. Just first off, what do we think is going to happen?
I'm finna get ready to go. I need 40 likes. And if I don't get it in 10 minutes, I'm out of here.
I would expect. I mean, he's not going to get 20 years, obviously. He's already has time served. There's going to be some mitigating factors. He doesn't have. I'm expecting 2 to 4 years. I would expect. I mean, he's not going to get 20 years, obviously. He's already has time served. There's going to be some mitigating factors. He doesn't have a prior record. However, there are some issues within the case that might be reasons for the judge to go a little bit higher than perhaps normal.
I think that there is a misdemeanor out there.
What is that? It looks so good. Oh, wait, this is coffee concentrate. I just had a little bit of it.
What is your feeling? You've obviously represented many Diddy victims in civil actions. You had over 100 people come to you with various allegations. What impact does this verdict have on the suits that you want to proceed with?
Zero. I mean, I was listening to Vlad there for a minute, and I'm sure that same kind of argument took place in the jury room. I mean, people have a hard time putting their head around a situation where somebody might consent one day and not consent the next. And there are people in this world that believe, well, you've consented once, so therefore you're consenting for life.
Yeah,
That is not what the law says, and I can understand why there may have been people on that jury that had the same point of view, and I'm not criticizing, I'm just saying that there's a lot of psychological issues here that people really don't understand about trauma bonding and how somebody might feel compelled to do something that they really don't want to do. But even if they said no one time, that is not consent. And I think in this trial, and we didn't have the benefit, or at least I didn't have the benefit, don't want to do, and I'm not criticizing, I'm just saying that there's a lot of psychological issues here that people really don't understand about trauma bonding and how somebody might feel compelled to do something that they really don't want to do. But even if they said no one time, that is not consent. And I think in this trial, and we didn't have the benefit, or at least I didn't have the benefit of watching it day to day and seeing each witness and hearing how they said the things they said. All I was able to see was the transcript that I would receive on a daily basis. Obviously, the jury thought that the RICO situation was complete baloney. They thought apparently that this was not a RICO situation. There was no conspiracy, and they were trying to put a round peg into a square hole or vice versa. I did think that given the testimony that I saw, that there were instances where Cassie and Jane were forced to do things either through financial pressure or through extortion type pressure or through force, things that they did not want to do.
But the interesting thing on that, Tony, is that the jury clearly did not believe either woman when it came to any issue about consensuality. They just didn't believe any of it. I think pretty much across the board, it was clear they had not bought in to the suggestion that any of this was non-consensual.
No question. I mean, I think you're right. And you know, sometimes juries do things that we don't expect. You know, I go back to whether, you know, each instance that this happened, did he have consent each time? Now, I see Vlad's point. There were times when it looked like that Cassie was involved in setting some of these
well,
events.
There's no question of that. I interviewed the Punisher, you know, the guy who gave evidence. He gave very powerful, eloquent evidence. And I've interviewed him several times. He's a very good talker, and he had no real kind of skin in the game. In fact, he was brought from the prosecution to give evidence, but actually ended up being a pretty powerful witness for the defense, it turned out, because what he said was everything was done through Cassie Ventura and seemed very consensual. Went on for over 2 years, you know, a dozen or so encounters in hotels where Diddy just sat in the corner saying nothing. She booked him, she paid him, she organized it, everything was driven by her. She seemed to have a good time, everyone was happy. I thought that was very powerful evidence actually for Diddy, because it seemed to contradict everything that they were trying to position it as, which was this was all coercion.
Let me offer this up. You know, the government settled in on using two alleged victims. They used Cassie and they used Jane. Early on, when this all started, we were contacted by the U.S. Attorney, and they asked us, can we speak to some of your clients? So we went to, and they told us, these are the ones we want to speak to. We made those people available. They talked to a couple of those people. But I think by that point, they had decided, their team had decided that they had what they needed. They had the goods, if you will, to proceed with Jane and with Cassie. I think that was a mistake. I will say, as I watched the trial, or at least learned about the trial daily as it went on, I thought the government was doing what they needed to do to get a conviction. Obviously, that wasn't the case. Obviously, they did not believe that they believed that Diddy had consent, and they didn't believe there was a conspiracy. And obviously, the transportation to commit prostitution, that was pretty cut and dried. And I think everybody, no matter which side you fall out on, believed that there would be a conviction there.
But there is a point, isn't there, that which Vlad made, I thought, pretty compellingly, that if you're going to convict Diddy and you don't believe that it was non-consensual and Cassie did all the booking, why is she not being charged? And could it be that the reason that she turned on Diddy was to preempt potentially some legal exposure herself.
Who knows? We'll never know that. They gave her immunity early on, and that's the horse they rode with, and we see what happened.
Well, I don't think it's that cut and dry. I think consent without fear of consequences is not, with fear of consequences, is not actually consent. So if you were going against Cassie, for example, you're going to try her, all she has to do is show you that video and just say, look at what happens if I didn't do that. Now, I don't think it reached the threshold for the jury for RICO, which I completely understand. Like I said, a conspiracy that involves one is a thought. But this is why I say this is not a problem for the courts. It's a problem for culture and society. Cassie met P. Diddy when she was 17 years old. She signed a 10-album deal with P. Diddy by the age of like 20 or 21, which is virtually unheard of in this industry. I mean, I'm sorry, she wasn't Beethoven. She didn't have the kind of talent that would warrant that kind of record deal. She was clearly groomed. Now, amongst all of that, could you say she could have got up and left? Okay, arguably, yes.
She was with him 10 years.
Yes, but the thing is, he has
She was with him 10 years, and the Punisher was very clear.
Yes,
She did not give any impression to him of being anything but a very enthusiastic and willing participant. It's quite kinky stuff.
Look at what happened when she tried to break up with him and date, what's his name, the rapper, who had his car blown up. I mean, it's not that cut and dry. I feel like Cassie's
we have lots of chats through the Me Too era and stuff, and obviously one of the things people are saying about this is that, in a way, it signals the beginning of the end of that Me Too movement, because for a long time, everyone was encouraged to believe women accusers. The moment they made allegations, they had to be believed. That was always, to me, a very dangerous proposition. It should always be they should be taken seriously, the allegations should be investigated properly, and then decisions should be made about whether there had been a crime. Very dangerous to believe accusers before you actually know whether they're telling the truth. But here we've got a situation, I think, where if he'd been in this case 3-4 years ago, he would have gone down.
I don't think that's
the jury, I suspect, has moved with the times.
I think the whole Me Too issue was a separate kind of beast. P. Diddy and the environment that he existed, the hip-hop industry, is a completely different kind of sleaze. And also, it was very cut and dry from that video.
Is it any different to Harvey Weinstein, who claimed that a lot of what his stuff was transactional? I mean, he was convicted of rape and sexual abuse and so on. So obviously, again, juries didn't agree. But he painted a picture of a lot of kind of transactional relationships with people, right, where he believed this was all part of the sort of casting couch deal. That again has been, that's dinosaur stuff, and it was outrageous and wrong and everything else, and it turned out to be criminal as well. But I don't think there's much difference in the attitude.
There is a difference. I think hip hop has always come under fire for being quite sleazy. I mean, you can't listen to a hip hop track from 20 years ago without hearing the N-word or bitch. It's always been quite sleazy. They've always been quite actually vocal about the fact that they treat women like pieces of meat. And the women, a lot of the time, are happy to be treated that way because they get a lot from it.
So that's interesting, isn't it, Vlad? Because that is part of that hip hop culture. There's no doubt. A lot of women have embraced that kind of, very misogynist language, the lyrics, and so on and so on. Is your feeling about what happened here with Cassie Ventura and Diddy that she was, notwithstanding the violence which would erupt more than once? We know there were other occasions when he was violent to her, that she enjoyed her life around this superstar rapper, notwithstanding that?
I don't understand the question. Can you?
Well, that she accepted the violence and was prepared to stay in the relationship because she enjoyed everything else.
I think there was a very violent relationship. I think it was a drug-fueled relationship. I think there's lots of money and fame and jet-setting involved. At the end of the day, I think what happened to her was horrible. I think that tape showed just how bad the domestic violence was. But at the end of the day, this is not what the trial was about. The trial was about RICO. The trial was about sex trafficking. The trial was about prostitution. In fact, the only reason Diddy got convicted was because it was interstate commerce. All the other male escorts that I've talked to, like, for example, I talked to Don the dealer, who also had multiple sessions with Cassie. She said she was loving it. She was into it. She was setting the direction. At the end of the day...
Not now one of those man will say anything other than that because they do not want to be hit with a ape charge. And it is ironic that you just gonna believe everything that he says. You don't know him. Hell, I caught him in lies not 2 minutes into what he said, but you didn't catch him in none. You full of shit. You really are full of shit. Y'all, let me get to the last part real quick because y'all not hitting my like button and I'm about to shut it down. I am about to shut it down. But since I got old boy on the thumbnail, I got to touch bases on it. But I'm telling you now, I'm finna shut it down. All rat shit that's going out the Tisa, baby, what he do that for? When I tell you, Miss Lowdown of the Mo3 sector, where Ratsh started at, where he done played this game, he should have left Tisa alone. Whether he know it or not, we are not happy with his attack on Tisa. That lady did not do anything to him. At 1 minute, he was all eaten up in her rear end. All he was loving Tisa, go support her, bam, bam, bam. Yeah, he was fanned out, everything. Everything that he is wanting her to do, he never did when he fed the Mo3 sector with a whole bunch of made up lies, accused everybody, disrespectful to Mo3's mama and brother, was claiming everybody was involved except YELLABEEZY, DRC, Trap Boy, and who else? Everybody except for the people who were possibly involved. Okay, he blamed them. He blamed everybody except them. He never once apologized. Never once apologized to Mo3 mother. Cussed her out. You know, at one point he was like, "Uck Mo3." I mean, he never apologized. And his cash apps, he went from buying views to people cash app. Everything that he said that Tisa needed to do, he never did. He never did. I wish he would give people back their money that they sent him. You would have to really chase him down and beat him down. So how dare him be a hypocrite? But everything about Diddy, I told y'all the other day. I told y'all the day I found out that he was attacking her, and I kind of just flipped and started remembering, started going back down memory lane. I told her, the people, everything. I ain't tell them everything, but I told them that there was some things out there that was very, 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 very similar to Diddy. And then for him to be out there attacking her, and he had no reason to. It was not as if she was bothering him. So what has happened is that some people done pulled it up, done went and started digging, done, I think, hashtag Nancy Grace and Tisa, and went off into it, baby. But when I tell you that Mr. Lowdown, who I had mentioned that he had did some similar things to her, her numbers were up at that time in the Mo3 sector. She had taken off. He started sending fake people with fake info for her to just post as if it was correct information, just to sabotage. Okay? So they have reached out to Miss Lowdown, and baby, when I tell you she went in like Flynn, and she started, she done went, it's been played the 911 recording when the girl called on him. Then when he turned around, I was scared because her brothers was coming, you know, for him, and he got a trial for DV next month, and she put out the case number. The judge, they sent it. I mean, I'm like, he should. Why? I'm gonna say it again. Why? And he know he got all of that out there. Why did he press his luck this time? Because before in the Mo3 sector, they may have played or they may have threatened to do some of the things that are being done now. But I really don't think anybody went to that extreme. But it sounds like today they are going to that extreme. So, I don't know. But let's check out a little of it. I'm only going to play a little of it because y'all have not got my likes up. And I am not playing. I've been on here too long. And I'm going to shut it down. I told y'all how many likes I needed. And y'all didn't get it.
Her bruising.
I mean, she got the bruises and everything. So hold on.
Defending Diddy. The same type of people.
Shout out to Miss Lowdown.
And she just came out and put Tiny on blast, y'all. Said Tiny out here, if you want to call it, okay?
Oh, yes, Saucy Santana said Diddy was
okay, y'all. I guess that's how they say
delicious
his name,
or something.
Whatever you want to call it.
A good time.
Okay, y'all. This is the man right here, okay? Who wears lipstick, dresses, full mustache, eyeliner, what the whole 9 yards, okay? If you go be a girl, why won't he cut off the mustache and the beard? I don't get this whole thing. But apparently,
it came out before.
He's still pulling them in. But word on the street is he running around here delivering packages. Okay, y'all? This one right here, somebody asked him. And let me pull it up real quick, y'all.
What's his knees
asked him. They said, do you miss Diddy? I kid y'all not. They asked him, did he miss Diddy?
Oh, I need to have my
And you know what he said?
What's time to show the Shrine Senator? Do I miss Diddy? Yeah, Diddy was fun.
Diddy was fun.
They said, do you miss Diddy? He said Diddy was fun and started smacking his lips. And Diddy was He said Diddy was fun.
Do I miss Diddy? Yeah, Diddy was fun.
Meow. He was
said,
tasty.
do you miss Diddy? He said Diddy was fun and started smacking his lips. And Diddy was fun.
Oh, wow.
With a wig, whole wig on, y'all. With ponytails. Lord have mercy. Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. This right here. These are the things that's crawling out the woodwork right now. Defending Diddy. The same type of people that's doing the same type of stuff that Diddy is doing. Diddy, this whole trial didn't do nothing but give all of these sick individuals hope that they can do the same thing that Diddy is doing and get away with it. All this trial did. Y'all, this trial, if they don't come with some more charges on Diddy,
I hope they come
and
home.
I'm telling y'all, people are gonna be a lot. Ain't nobody gonna even be tripping on Jay-Z like that. I'm just saying, y'all. I told y'all that at first. They're gonna lose win on anybody even caring about all the stuff he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be like, if you let Diddy get away with it, you know what I'm saying? Other people is saying right now, free R. Kelly too. Then this is what people were saying. If you're gonna let him get away with everything that he was doing, well, why ain't let R. Kelly up out of there? Because R. Kelly was not doing stuff worse than him. This is what people are saying right now. If you're gonna let one sicko up out of there, let the other one out. This is how people are feeling like right now. Y'all, look at this. A whole man. And just think about this. This is the type of person or the type of look that was showing up at, excuse me, y'all, because my voice is going in and out. But this is the type of look that was showing up at schools and stuff, y'all. And they were letting them talk about why they wear their hair like that, or they got a mustache, and they now, y'all, yes. But they're coming out the wood. Yes. This one right here, his bones is flying out the closet right now. Everybody put him on blast. The worst thing he could have did was what he just did, y'all. Now everybody is pulling up every piece of dirt that he has done. Okay, y'all? Everybody. It's crazy. It's crazy the attention that's coming out right now about this one right here. You know what? When people out here picking on people, they never think about the backlash. They never think about that. They always feel like they want to do you dirty and this and that and that and this, but they never think about if that, you know, what you're doing to them flip back to yourself. They never think about that. And Lord, am I having fun with this one? I am having so much fun with this one, y'all. Because I couldn't wait for him to be in the spotlight. I want y'all to look at him, y'all. Look at him. And he got the nerves. Look at...
Y'all get the... What in the hell is on this fool's back? Get the likes up. I need 20 likes. What in the world? Is that... do we need a bath? Is there hair? What is that? Ugh. I can't with him.
Bones. Look at this, y'all. But the main thing I wanted y'all to really look at was this picture, y'all. I think I put it up there twice. Yeah, here we go. Look at the one-eye symbolism and the eyes all over the place. And the tongue hanging out. This guy is so sick, it doesn't make sense.
He said he liked LSD because it takes him to hell.
This is his wall art that he
allegedly
has on the wall, y'all. This one right here is a loose cannon, y'all. Okay? And it is what it is. This is why the second reason why he violated his bond. Okay? This is the bond violation number 2. Okay, y'all? Now, man, y'all, I told y'all about the other one. Okay? And I had to put the little block over the you know, the weapons. Okay? I had to block out the little weapons, but this is a little hand one right here. Okay? This is the big long one right here on the couch. I had to block it out, though, y'all. I had to block it out. Because I don't know if you could put that on YouTube, you know, weapons.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't put weapons on.
What he had showed on his live, y'all. Okay, in 2024, and he was on a bond then. So this is another violation that allegedly, I'm just saying, y'all, just saying, is that he messed up on. Word on the street, y'all. Word on the street.
Why he out there messing with Tisa? He got a whole bond violation.
Y'all.
Look at that hand.
Y'all. And this one right here, I told y'all about the senior citizen that he used to work in.
Yeah, he
worked in the senior citizen. Got kicked out, fired, and stuff from messing with the senior citizens allegedly. Okay, y'all, everything alleged. Everything alleged.
One of them mysteriously passed away.
Then, allegedly, he did something he wasn't supposed to be doing to a little one.
Facts.
Okay, y'all? A little one.
Hand broke.
Baby mama, pause session. Pause session to
y'all double tap the like. Baby I ain't gonna tell you no more.
Now, mind
is that a bruise up here?
I think that's the baby. This might not be his baby mama. This might be this the other lady. Okay? Because somebody told me it ain't the baby mama. It's another woman.
Sapphire.
And this is the other. He broke his finger putting paws on her, allegedly. Do you see his baby finger right here broke? Yes, y'all.
I'm almost out of juice. He got bruises out on his... And old girl have bruises too.
Our scars. It happened. Now the little baby, people that use, you know,
Lord, look how frail he is. Stuff, oh my God.
They pick certain parts of their bodies to do that. Now I see how he got, I don't know. If she was drugged, it would have probably had more little, but it looked like it's like being hit up against something. Or something hit up against you, like a bat or something. I'm just saying, y'all, what it look like to y'all? Because that's what it looked like to me, okay? Y'all, when I tell y'all Diddy's little minions is coming out the woodwork. They are. I want y'all to listen to a little bit of this. And I noticed that some people be playing like police, you know, when they be calling the police, they be playing it on YouTube. So I guess it's okay for me to play this on YouTube because they play it when the rappers. They play it when the rappers is getting arrested. So you can play this then, right, y'all?
For you.
So let me play this little sound on here real quick because this is crazy. Give me 1 second. This is crazy. And y'all, while she on the phone with him, while she's on the phone,
he was attacking her.
Live, y'all.
My house, and I need to print this. What's your address? It's an emergency. Yes, sir. I'm trying to leave my house, and I need to print this. What's your address? Outside. West One Grove.
This is the same guy that was attacking her who was attacking Tisa outside the courthouse. He's attacking her while she's calling 911.
Okay. What apartment number?
He doing stuff to her right now. Why she trying to talk?
21 0105 and 50 seconds.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach had a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please try your call again later. Goodbye.
Tuesday, January 12, 2021. 0107 and 42 seconds.
This is 911. What apartment number are you in? I'm waiting. What apartment number are you in? I need to know what apartment number so I can get you help. Are you being assaulted right now? Yes, okay, what apartment number are you in? Can you go to the front door and see the number on the outside of the door? Okay, I need to know an apartment number so the police know where to go.
She said he tore her mouth open. I hope y'all heard that.
Oh. Can you hear me?
He's doing stuff to her right now while she's on the phone with the police. Look how bold he is, y'all.
Tuesday, January 12, 2021. 0109 and 16 seconds. Tuesday, January 12, 2021. 0219 and 51 seconds.
Listen, I want to take a emergency. Well, man, went down home, well, about 6:11. I thought you got last night. I was talking last night, and I let my baby mother go, and she comes back, and she's starting working. I just want to she trying to steal my wallet, steal my TV, I already stuff out the house, and I started I got bruises all over me last night when I called you guys, and you checked the call log when I called you guys, and said I was assaulted last night. I got bruises all over my face, all over my body. Can you assault you tonight? Yes, you would.
He's flipping the script saying she the one that attacked him. Not only that, he's going to say, act like he's scared for his life, y'all. I kid y'all not. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Okay, we assault her. And last night, and she came back to give us some other stuff. She talked to me, Joe, and she couldn't knife on me.
How dare y'all stay and knowing y'all ain't hit that like button? How dare y'all? What we doing? And y'all didn't hit the like button. Oh, what y'all still doing here if y'all ain't hit the like button? I need 20 likes.
They got nothing to do with him. But he was working with the people that is being accused of right now, allegedly, y'all. The ones that actually did. And when I was that actually did take out, he said he's scared for his life right now, y'all.
Oh no, not the one who was trying to stand up.
Put yourself in any danger. People beating on my door. People over my house. Scared for my life right now.
He's scared for his life right now. Y'all hear that?
He said he's scared for his life right now, y'all.
Scary, scary.
Person that put a hit on a female. Okay, y'all?
Over here. So don't put yourself in any danger. People beating on my door. People over my house. Scared for my life right now.
Scary ass.
He said he's scared for his life right now, y'all. This the same person that put a hit on a female. Okay, y'all?
Are y'all gonna double tap y'all screen or hit the thumbs up? Next time it goes dead, it's staying dead. I'm gonna tell you that now.
He put a hit on a female. Over doing videos on YouTube. Okay, y'all? They got nothing to do with him. But he was working with the people that is being accused of right now, allegedly, y'all. The ones that actually did take out Mo3. He was helping them by stirring narratives on his page. And when I was doing the videos, and I wasn't doing nothing but posting stuff that they had posted on their own page, okay, I'm just saying, y'all, okay? And he got mad about it. And this is what he did to me, okay, y'all? So, but he's telling the police that he's scared for his life, right? Okay.
Does anyone have a fever? Yeah, I'm good. Anybody have any COVID symptoms? Nope. Anybody exposed to COVID? No. Oh, okay. What was your last name? About the and your phone number? Phone number? I don't know about it. Did she call earlier? I have no idea what she did or what she did. Okay. So, you're not sure if she's still there? No, I don't know if she's, I just went outside and I'm back in my house now. I called you guys last night. Yes, sir. I didn't want to put her in jail. I was trying to give her a benefit of the doubt, so I let her go and told her to come back and get the shit.
His voice do not sound like how he look, do it, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all.
She came back, man, and she started with the good. And if you look at her record, she's been in jail for assaulting me before. Okay. This time I'm just done, man. It's like, I can't do it no more. What color shirt were you wearing? I don't even know. She's wearing like a tie-dye shirt with blue jeans. Can you lock your door? Yeah, my door's locked. Alright. No, officers on the way, okay? If she returns or anything changes, she'll get their calls back. Thank you.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you. Call us back. Call us back. Y'all, we dealing with a monster here. We're dealing with a sick monster. Okay? And a lot of people is interested in this right now. A lot of people. A lot of traction going on right now. And a lot of people's reaching out to me that, you know, want to know, because some people already know. Want to send their letters to, you know, to keep him, lock him up when he go to court. Some people already know, and some people don't know, because they are reaching out to me like, what is the address? Who do I send a letter to? Because he needs to get locked up, okay? So the judge name is Susan, Susan, Pile, Piel, y'all. County Criminal Court, number 2. Okay? If you want to send a letter, you send it to her. The address is 1450 East McKinney Street, Denton, Texas. Okay, y'all? And that area code is 76209. Anybody that want to send a letter that he done did some stuff too, or whatever, that's where you send your complaint to. And let them know all the stuff and dirty deeds that he's been doing. If you just want to report what he did to the blogger, whatever, okay? Just do what you gotta do, y'all. Because he go to court this month. Or I think it's this month. Okay, I gotta look at the paperwork again. Make sure that you put the case number on there as well. C as in cat, R as in rats. Dash 2024 dash 04936 dash B. He shouldn't be let out on the streets. He should be locked away. Okay, y'all? Somebody named Brandon or Braden or something like that. He chased down the street with his weapon. This guy's a loose cannon, y'all. He's a loose cannon. I'm telling you. I don't know this guy from the Man in the Moon, and he came for me hard, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" I mean, he was sending his subscribers to me. Everything. I had to report this to the feds, y'all. I kid y'all not. I reported this to the feds, okay? I had to. Because he was coming with it, y'all. And it was crazy.
She's talking about the captain.
Oh my God. This is the
I always, she was,
my life.
I think the captain had started playing around with Sapphire. That's why he chased him down the street.
The whole story aired out. I was like, oh my God. This is the craziest thing I ever seen in my life.
I don't know why I thought that was a skit.
I mean, and the people that allegedly, did this, they're no kin to him. He just did this for clout to try to be popular or would,
Well, y'all remember Charlucci. Hold on. Y'all remember Charlucci gave him a t-shirt that Frico is not a Rico. So maybe at that point, because they were saying before that he was pro Diddy. He was pro Diddy. And I guess his ass couldn't get in the courtroom that day. He went out there and bonded with Charlucci. He gave him a t-shirt, and then he came back hollering, bad boy. Well, yeah, you a bad boy. And they done passed out all your info. And they finna send your ass up the Bad Boy River.
That's what he called himself doing. He was going to steer the narrative online. And they get away with it. They was going to make it look like everybody else did it, but steer everything away from the people who really had done it. Y'all, this is crazy, but this is what I dealt with.
She did?
This is what I dealt with when I first started. And I was like, oh my God.
Yep.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
I told y'all he went in after her.
So, when I tell y'all, this right here is a loose cannon. He is a loose cannon. And he ain't the only one, y'all. It's some more.
It is.
Some more on YouTube that is some stuff wrong with them, y'all. Okay? Y'all hearing about the stories. Y'all hearing about all the stories. Look at that couple that just got taken out in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's some crazy people out there. And when you get a chance to put that crazy person, take them off the street, okay? Texas give people so many chances. Memphis give people so many chances. And that's the only thing I hate about some of their laws, that people is doing some serious crimes and they're getting right back out. They're harder on people that's selling street pharmacy stuff than they are people that's out here taking lives. and lining people up and a part of criminal organizations. They are lighter on them than they are people that just selling some street pharmacy stuff. And that's crazy to me. Okay, y'all, that is so crazy on so many levels. That people out here is this way and they're getting away with being this way. This guy that has several charges on him. And he has...
Okay, y'all didn't get the lights up. Y'all have a good one. I may be back later.
Get away with it. And this is why he feel like he can come at anybody. Anybody.